not born on the linksland of St. Andrew's Old Course. It developed here, was nurtured here, and eventually flourished here. The great stone clubhouse of the Royal and Ancient Club, the overseer of the Old Course, sits like a chaperone behind the first tee, keeping a watchful eye on the links, acting as the conscience of the game that was played here in the 12th century. The bridge over the Swilcan Burn was old when Columbus discovered America, was worn smooth when the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. Every great golfer in the world has walked over, except one, Ben Hogan. This week, for the 25th time, the British Open Championship returns to the Old Course at St. Andrews. This treeless, windswept seaside land, this barren, unmanicured track, this blessed plot that has yielded and cared for the magic of the game that the Scots say was invented 1 billion years ago. Don't you remember? ABC Sports and the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews present the third round of the 124th British Open. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third round of the British Open Golf Championship from the Old Course at St. Andrews. It's a sparkling summer day here in the Kingdom of Fife, and the wind is blowing across this linksland by the North Sea. It always is an extra special occasion when the world's oldest golf championship is played on the world's oldest golf course, a golf course that goes out from the town on the right side to the 7th hole, then turns into what is known as the Loop. Holes 7 through 12 look like the head of a cane, and in this loop are the course's 2 par 3s, each lying in a different direction. You come out of the loop at 13 and head back toward the town down the right side to the famous road hole at 17. Then it's left up to the 18th green with its Valley of Sin and the old stone clubhouse. And seldom has the old girl looked better. It's a blustery day here today. Summer in Scotland, 72 degrees, the humidity at 45%, sunny intervals, but the important thing is the wind. Southwest, 20 to 25 miles an hour. And here are the final 8 pairings today. Frank Nobilo of New Zealand and Dave Guilford of the UK. Steve Elkington and Nick Faldo from Australia and the UK. Vijay Singh of Fiji Islands and Justin Leonard of the United States. Payne Stewart and Corey Pavin of the United States. Ernie Els from South Africa with John Cook of the United States. Constantino Rocca of Italy and Mark Brooks of the United States. Ben Crenshaw, John Daly, and the final group, Katsuyoshi Tomori of Japan and Brad Faxon of the United States. 8 nationalities in the final 8 pairings. And now to describe third-round play, here are my colleagues, 3-time winner of the British Open, Jack Nicklaus, and Brent Musburger.
Jack, thank you very much. We have a massive field here for the final 2 rounds, 103 having survived the cut, and the final pair just underway here, Jack. And this is Brad Faxon now with his second shot on the par 4 first.
Playing from 135.
Well, the first hole normally, Brad is just a drive and a flick. Today it's about a drive and a 5-iron. And it's a very, very different hole. And of course the fellows coming back the 18th are driving it. So we've got some wind out there today. This morning it was very cold. It's warmed up a bit. The wind has dropped a little bit, but I still think the conditions are very difficult.
Now he is playing with Katsuyoshi Tomori of Japan. Bob Rosberg is on the course with them.
Tomori has 135 yards to the hole. Played a pretty nice looking shot right there.
Jack, to give the folks an idea of how the first and how the play has gone, let's go back on videotape. Corey Pavin, one of 9 golfers separated by only a shot when we began the day, the U.S. Open champion, Jack, and this is his second shot here on the opening hole.
I don't know what Corey's playing here, Brent, but he's playing a little knockdown shot, and he played a little draw into the wind. The ball hits on just to the left of the hole and grabs the slope there. and watch it just sort of swing right on down. Actually, the best place would be just to the right of the hole, but he used that stroke very well. And you'll see by the putt that it's exactly where he wanted to be.
Pavin joining the trio who led after 2 rounds at 6 under par. Steve Elkington, who birdied the first, then backed it up with another at the third, and he moved to within a shot of our leaders. But for Corey Jack, in difficulty here.
The first 6 holes are the tough holes today, Brent. It's into the wind, left to right. And Corey's found the bunker here on the second hole. They set the pin between 2 bunkers, and it served for not only the second hole, but also for the 16th hole.
Now we are live, and Judy Rankin is out with Ernie Els. Judy?
Well, he got off to a rough start, 3-putting the first green from only about 20 feet. I think it's sometimes difficult when you miss a short putt that early in the day. This now is just 70 yards or so. Wind from his left.
Brad Faxon yesterday with a 67. That tied the low round of this championship. And Brad playing really, Jack, a mistake-free round.
Well, he got out early yesterday, which was the time to play. I was out early yesterday, and I found the conditions not extremely difficult. As the day went on, it really got tough yesterday, and as you can tell, but the afternoon scores, well, that's the only reason that I got in the last 2 days, because 6 under was leading in the morning, and there was a lot of fellas had a chance, but they just kept backing up with the conditions.
Pretty tough little shot here. It's going to come a lot to his right and straight down the hill once it gets on the green.
He's got a putt there that you can't see it from here, but he's got to aim the ball almost up to the edge of the green. He's got to aim it 20 feet left of the hole, doesn't he, Rossi?
Yes, he does, Jack.
Now, you notice he's going to putt this ball. Unless he just changed clubs, I can't tell. He's going to putt it, Rossi?
Yes, he's still going to putt it, Jack.
Yeah, you'll find that most of the fellas will putt the ball off the green here at St. Andrews. It's so much more efficient than a pitch shot. The ground is very hard, and you want the ball just to roll over it as much as you can. Unlike at home, where we can take the ball and pitch it in and stick the ball into the hole, spin is going to be very ineffective here unless you're playing dead into the wind.
Now we go to Italy's Rocca here on the second hole, making a bit of a move. This a long birdie putt. Up and down it goes. And Constantino, with an early birdie here, joins those at 6 under par. So right now, it looks this way. We have 4 tied at 6 under. Michael Campbell, there's a name you probably don't know much about. That story will unfold. He's out of New Zealand, a remarkable story. He has joined Brad, Rocca, and Tamari, all at 6 under par. And, of course, Faxon needs that putt of his on the first green to stay at 6 under right now. Some of the other scores, John Cook, Steve Elkington at 5 under, Ernie Els, Payne Stewart, Vijay, all at 4. Now, this is Tamari, and this would be for the outright lead. Tamari's interesting, Jack, in that he does not speak any English. His caddy does not speak any Japanese, but his caddy, according to Tamari, through an interpreter at the press conference, said he pointed at very good lines. Here's John Daly, second shot now.
He must have. He's playing pretty well.
Daly, from 122 yards, chose to take it straight up in the air, as you'll see him do pretty much all day long.
Well, let's see if Faxon can make this. You might recall a year ago at Turnberry, he was paired with Fuzzy Zeller. Kind of wanted to get off to a great start, pushed it a little bit on the first hole, bogeyed that hole, and Brad did not recover. He would like, obviously, to get through here and not have the same fate. But he has not. He has bogeyed the first hole. So Faxon.
I'm sorry, Brent. The greens are at varying speeds. You notice how quick his ball ran there? You'll see other putts today that look like they have brakes on them, and then other putts will just go forever. And it's really due to the wind. There's no grain on the greens, but the wind dries them out at different rates. some of them are very fast, and some of them are very slow just because of the wind.
Some of the other American scorers here, Jack, that we'll see. Tom Watson was in contention. He's at 2 under through 13. Phil Mickelson at 2 under. Mark Calcavecchia, the last American to win the Open Championship. We haven't had any Americans from our side of the Atlantic this decade. But they've been playing well here so far this year, and we'll see how it all unfolds. Pavin, Crenshaw, and Daly, joined by Elkington, of course, who plays on the PGA Tour of the United States, but that's the Australian flag. Welcome, everybody. Jack Nicklaus, I'm Brent Musburg. Jack, you know, going to commercial, we should tell the folks, you looked at me when I said Watson was in contention at 20. You said, no, Brent, let's correct that. You think that score might be pretty good for him.
Well, I think that Watson's got a birdie chance at 14 to go back to about 3 under, and I don't think that they're going to shoot that low today. I think that the golf course is very difficult going out. The fellas have a chance of losing some strokes. Elkington has made a couple of birdies, which has been pretty good, and the loop is not easy today. I just think the golf course is tough, and I just think they're going to have trouble shooting a low score.
How'd you play today, Jack?
Well, I had trouble going out. I had 4 3-putt greens front 9 and shot 4 over, and I bogeyed the road hole coming home, and so I shot 77. And it was cold this morning, and it was difficult. A lot of fellows shot better than I did, but I think the course is going to be a pretty good challenge today.
Well, we should have a good story unfolding for you here this afternoon in the third round. Our on-course commentators, Mark Roffing, Judy Rankin, and, of course, Bob Rosberg. Third shot at the 5th now for Elkington.
Now, all week we've been getting to the green. And here he is laid up short of the 2 bunkers. He's got probably 100 yards into the hole here. A pretty good shot.
There's only 1 par 5 and 1 par 3 on each of the 9s here at St. Andrews, Jack, and we can see this hole.
Well, that's the par 5. I don't know what venti is there. Bunker must be to the left, and the bunkers, 2 bunkers that you saw are the 2 bunkers that are sort of like spectacles. They're short of the green. And Elkington laid up short of that. Your tee shots, you've got to watch out for all the bunkers on the right here. They're very dangerous. The wind sweeping left to right will throw the ball into them very easily.
Now the second shot on the 3rd for Rocca.
And this will probably be one of the holes today that will yield a little bit. It's not a very difficult hole, not very long today, but you've got to get it up. And he's left it short, and he's going to roll back off to the front.
Part of the gathering here, the crowd growing in St. Andrews. Each day we have had more and more of the great golf fans in this country show up. Now, this is our first look at Michael Campbell. He's a Maori. He's from New Zealand, and he is playing brilliantly here in these conditions. Jack, he's 4 under for the day.
Well, he's got a tough shot right here. There doesn't feel like there's any wind because it's blocked by the bleachers on his left. And once the ball goes out there, it just whips it to the right. You notice he started that quite a ways left. And let's see if the wind brings it back. Look at this. He's hit it to the back of the green, but now the slope is going to take that ball and it's going to bring it back. That's going to bring it almost back to the hole. That is a really severe pitch behind that green.
And it rolled past Brett Ogle's tee shot there. So Campbell needs that putt for the outright lead. Tamari's second shot on the 2nd hole.
From 165, wind out of the left.
Almost impossible to get the ball anywhere near the hole here, Rossi.
I always thought this was one of the hardest holes in the course, Jack.
Whew. I think it is. And that you've got to play the ball, almost play it by the hole, and then try to do something coming back.
This is Pavin at the 4th.
To get a birdie putt on this green today is tough. That's a very long hole and a very difficult one. And Pavin's got up the hill. He's putting there. Pretty good effort for that one.
Came in here obviously very relaxed off his triumph at the United States Open. Now we go back to Rocca.
That'll get up and over and then get quick. He's judged it pretty well, though.
Nick Faldo. Put down the gallery rope, and that is his fourth shot on the fifth. Faldo with a 67 yesterday. He worked his way back into contention, and now Payne Stewart. And yes, that is the plaid there of the Stewart clan of Scotland. Very familiar garb. You probably don't see that on too many NFL teams on Sunday afternoon, but...
I was wondering what NFL team that was.
Back of the NFL office and staff is here. He special dispensation today because special colors when you come one day during the British Open.
He wears his own clan's clothes.
That's right.
Okay.
Now we go to John Daly's tee shot on the third.
This is a green that he could conceivably drive today, I believe.
Oh, he has been hitting it a long way. The crowds have taken to John Daly just as they do back in the United States. The tabloids over here refer to him simply as the wild thing. And this week it was the wild thing meets the old course. And now Brad Faxon would dearly love to get that stroke quickly back that he dropped on the first.
Tough putt here, very slow, going up the hill and into the hill.
And breaks quickly left at the end, Rossi.
Left it quite a bit short.
He didn't hit it hard enough to take the break, did it?
Elkington on the fifth now. He's been making a move, remember, today. He's 2 under through 4.
Look at the wind. There's the wind again. You're going to find that the old course really is not a very difficult course without any wind. As soon as the wind blows, it's not the hitting the golf shots. It's the putting. And it's the putting all the way through the whole round that the guys are going to have trouble with.
Now on the third, this is Ben Crenshaw, Masters champion.
He's got a shot at just 94 yards, but the ball is resting in an old divot. You could see all the sand come up when he struck the shot. Really not a very good break there for Ben at all, who had gotten off to a solid start.
So remember, we left Campbell. Here he is with this putt. This would be for the outright lead for the New Zealander.
I missed the same putt the same way this morning, Brett. Looks like it breaks left and just doesn't.
Aldo saves par at 5. So we have 3 tied at 6 under par here at the 124th British Open, coming to you from the old course at St. Andrews. Well, we're back on the third tee. This is Brad Faxon, who dropped a shot at the first.
He holed that little putt at the second hole, about 3.5 feet, and that's a nice one to make after missing the one at 1.
And now on videotape, we will show you John Daly's second shot here at 3.
He had just narrowly avoided the 2 pot bunkers, was only 15 yards short of being pin high, and hit a pretty good shot here.
Daly, like Faxon, bogeyed the first. Now Crenshaw live at 3 for par. So Ben drops a shot. Daly made his par putt. Elves out at the 4th.
Just from the back edge of the green, wind coming hard from his right. I'm not sure if the wind will move the ball right and left, but it certainly makes a difference with speed.
So an international flavor, just what you would expect at the British Open Championship. The flags of Italy, New Zealand. Incidentally, Campbell plays regularly on the European PGA Tour. 32 years old, he's played in 13 European Tour events, has 5 top 10 finishes, even though he was born and plays out of New Zealand. He now lives in Australia. And here he is on the 12th tee now, Jack.
Well, you've got a lot of options on this hole, Brent. He's got a driver. He's going to try to take it down the right side. Pins in sort of the left side of the green today. And he's going to play a little Russian roulette with that bunker down there in front of the green. I think he hit it right in it. No, got over it. Bounced over it. Bounced onto the green. So you've really got to be very careful with the tee shot. You got winds on the left and winds on the right. And that little bunker down there that's just short of the green can grab your golf ball. A lot of fellas will take an iron off the tee and play it between the first 2 sets of bunkers or a 3-wood over the next set.
Pavin back at the 5th, his second shot. See where the 5th hole is and the wind that Jack has been telling you about, how it goes out, has the loop, and then plays its way back down the other side.
Yeah, today the wind's hurting and left to right going out. It just sweeps everything off into the trouble on the right. All the bunkers are along the right side. You can play left about as far as you want almost every hole. And
now Faxon second at the 3rd.
It's from 75 yards. Wind blowing very hard out of the left. Flagstick 14 on the front. Got to land it up to the left and let it funnel down.
pretty good shot there.
Now, on videotape, Payne Stewart. That was his second shot, and here's number 3.
That ball looked like it came awfully close to hitting him there. Frank, what happens with that?
Well, Jack, if the ball hit him, as you know, it would have been a 2-stroke penalty. I don't think it hit him.
No, I don't think it did either, but he was ducking.
Third hole, second shot for Tamari.
Tamari, very solid so far. Another beautiful drive right up the middle, 55 yards off an uphill lie, which will be an advantage here with the flag stick up front.
Fourth shot at the 5th now for Stewart.
Now the ball's in a valley there about 15 feet below the green.
Elkington. That was his second at the 6th. Rocca, fourth hole, second shot.
Everybody's trying to hook the ball into the fourth hole to try and hold it. And the wind just sweeps it away to the right, and here he is down off to the right side of the green. it's almost impossible to get it anywhere near the hole, and everybody's going to have the same reaction played into it. It's absolutely amazing why we all play the same shot and all get the same reaction.
On the tee at number 5, John Cook.
You have to start the ball way left. 7 little bunkers in all to the right side of this fairway. And the wind just trying to force your ball that direction. This one's gone to the right.
We didn't see, Judy, where that ball finished, but I know playing there this morning, I drove the ball in the left center of the fairway, and the wind took it to the right, and I ended up to the right of the bunkers. And I did not fade the ball off the tee. The wind just whips it something awful there.
Daly's on the 4th tee.
Boy, and this one is launched, too, down the left-hand side. Seems to be in pretty good spirits today, even though he 3-putted the first. That ball is somewhere out in between the 4th fairway and the 14th fairway, but should be all right.
Tamari missing his birdie on the 3rd. Pavin's 3rd at the par 5. Now Tamari finishing up on the 3rd. Now we go to the 6th, and this is Elkington's 3rd.
You're going to find a lot of balls to the back side of this green, Brent. And I think the reason, there's no way in the world that you can stop the ball anywhere around the hole. There's a bank about 8 or 9 yards short of the hole. You either hit into that bank, you stop, or you carry over and it runs to the back. And if you get lucky and take a bounce and then into the bank and it releases over the top, then you have a chance. But you really can't play the ball with any kind of realistic probability of getting it close.
Back to Stewart, and remember this is number 5 on the par 5.
Hard thing about this pitch is whether you get it to release or get it to or will check up. See, that one checked up, and he needed to get it to release.
Campbell, after that long drive, just missing what would have been an eagle, and he has that now for the outright lead. We go to Faxon for birdie at 3. So Brad Faxon, 1 behind our trio of leaders, and we'll return with more 3rd round coverage of the 124th British Open after this message and a word from our ABC stations. The last man to win both the U.S. and the British Opens in 1 year was Tom Watson at the 1982 Corey Pavin. Only one with a chance now, and he is 2 behind Campbell, who made that little putt that we left him with, and he is now at 7 under par as he moves to the 13th tee.
He's probably hitting about a 3-iron there, Brent. This hole started out early in the week as a driver. Went to a 3-wood. Now it's playing downwind a little bit, and you hit about a 3-iron. It still goes too far into that bank. He's hit the ball into the edge of the rough, it looks like there. He's got a little bit of an uphill lie and a sort of a blind second shot. Not that bad, though. That's kind of place to be.
Wonderful, charming town of St. Andrews in the background, as you can see the storyline developing now. Michael Campbell, 5 under for his round so far, leads by 1 over Constantino Rocca and Katsuyoshi Tamari of Japan. So the last 6 years, we can see Nick Price, Greg Norman, Nick Faldo, Ian Baker Finch, Faldo again. That was right here in 1990, and the last American to win was Mark Calcavecchia in '89. Now Steve Elkington on this tee at 7. Elkington, 2 off the lead at 5 under. But as Jack Nicklaus has been telling you, the battle for the Claret Jug is being dominated by the wind coming off St. Andrews Bay and whipping around.
I know. We keep talking about it, Brent, and it's the one thing that we keep talking about because it's actually the dominating factor. You can see the flags blowing, but you don't realize how hard the ground gets. We played here, came in on Monday, and the golf course actually played fairly soft. And Tuesday it wasn't bad, and then all of a sudden the wind started coming up, and boom! It just got hard as a rock and twice as fast in about 4 or 5 hours.
Campbell up by 1. Rocca Tamari at 6 under. Then Corey Pavin leads that group at 5. John Daly, Steve Elkington, Brad Faxon, who dropped a shot on the first. Ernie Els, 4 under. And let me remind you, especially your golf fans, that coming up next on ABC, Nick Price and Greg Norman will go head-to-head on Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. Then today on ABC's Wide World of Sports, we'll take an inside look at the career of Iron Mike Tyson as he prepares to enter the ring again. Plus, Miguel Indurain leads as the Tour de France enters the next to the last stage. All today, coming up on ABC. So it is a wonderful setting here at the old course. Nay win, nay golf, the Scots say. Folks, we got plenty of golf coming your way this afternoon.
Tom Morris was both the professional and the greenkeeper at St. Andrews for more than 40 years. He was a patriarch. On the day of old Tom's funeral in 1908, the links at St. Andrews were shut down, a fitting tribute to one who symbolized the game. Morris won 4 of the earliest British Opens and raised a son regarded as even a greater player. Old Tom defended the custom of closing the old course 1 day a week, saying, "Nay Sunday play. The course needs a rest, even if the golfers don't."
Sports. We're back at the British Open, and this is Ben Crenshaw.
Chip shot of about 150 feet here for Ben, all the way across the stretch of the green. Boy, nicely judged there.
The wind howling that spot. Now here is our leader. He's at 13 here, Jack, and he's writing quite a story for himself.
He's just in the edge of the rough and blind like we were talking about. And he's going to probably pick out that crane in the background. That's what I used this morning as my line. I picked off of an edge of that one way or the other, and because it was up in the air. And then you can't hit the ball right at the hole. There's a little hollow sitting in front. And the way the wind is, you must bring it in from the right. So he wants to land it just short or just on the green to the right to have any chance of getting it close. Otherwise, the ball will sweep away a long way left of the hole. You landed it just where you had to land it. Beautiful shot.
He is playing a spectacular round in this wind right now. He's 26 years old. Back in 1993, played down in Australia and all the Asian tours, and here's what Jack was telling you about. Now Corey Pavin, second shot at the 6th.
Pretty good tee shot there today. That was a tough tee shot today. Didn't like that one. Oh, that's a tough shot. He's going to probably putt it from there. He doesn't have much choice. He'll get over that little knob, but it's going to might break in either direction.
Earlier, John Daly, a long putt at 4.
Nearly as tough a putt as the chip shot Ben Crenshaw had.
And Mark, here is Ben. This is for par.
He's going to have a hard time staying still out there on this putt, isn't he, Mark? Putting into that wind.
He really is. That's the problem he had back at the second when he missed a little putt. He kind of got blown off stride. And
that little putt there goes just over a little rise. It's a very difficult little putt. I know I missed it this morning. Exactly the same way.
Now Rocca's second shot at the fifth.
He's pulled that into the left rough, and that's not the place to be to approach that pin placement. He'll have a hard time getting it close from there.
Els was on the 6th tee.
That sweep across to the right. I'm here for both. I think he's all right there, though. Wind's again a little bit more in your face on 6, and there's bunkers on both sides of the fairway there, and you don't have a choice. You can't play one side or the other. Most of the golf course, if you play left, you can generally be safe, but on the 6th hole, you can't. You just have to play it between the bunkers.
John.
And it's blind over the top of the hill, and you aim at a stake.
It. And here's
There's
John.
a stake right about at his knee, just to the left of his knees. You can see a little stake. And I think that's where he has to aim.
He escaped big trouble from the last tee, but ended up with a bogey anyway, 3-putting the 5th.
Now here's Tamari. It's his second shot on the 4th. One off of Campbell's lead.
Easy.
He went in that little pot. It's about 50 yards from the hole to the right. That's not going to be a fun bunker shot to try to figure out a way to get down in 2 from there.
5th tee for Daly.
big par 5 today, right into the wind, but he smashed this one.
He didn't swing very hard at that one, Mark. Looked like he was just trying to cozy it out there.
Ball's way over on the left-hand side, but shouldn't be a problem.
He swung so hard at that.
Well, now Campbell trying to pick up still another one here. He is 5 under for the day, 7 for the championship.
Putt should come a little bit, probably right to left with that, with the wind. The wind, you play the wind over here on your putts. You don't necessarily play the break.
And he's playing that wind brilliantly here today.
It's amazing. You can have the same putt 2 days in a row. If the wind's going from opposite directions, you just go in opposite directions. And it'll be 3 or 4 inches.
Now Rocca on the 5th.
You'll have a hard time stopping that around the hole. That'll run right on. He'll have a long putt there.
So the battle with the elements continues here at St. Andrews, and Michael Campbell from New Zealand is having a remarkable round. He is 6 under for the day. He has barged into a 2-shot lead right now. Strong international flavor with Italy, Japan, the United States, Australia, South Africa, and Fiji, all represented on the first 2 pages of the leaderboard. This, the 124th British Open Championship. Some great names have come here and won in the past. Bobby Jones, Sam Snead, Peter Thompson, and Jack Nicklaus twice in the 70s. And Jack, what kind of wind did you face on the 4 days of your last championship here?
I think fairly similar to what it is today, Brent. I know that in 1970, when I played the playoff with Doug Sanders, the wind is exactly the direction it is today. And because I remember we came down to the 18th, and that's when I drove it through the green. But we got around to, we played the loop, and the wind was clocked at the loop at 56 mile an hour when we were playing.
Wow. And
that's fairly strong. We were playing the small ball then, but it didn't make any difference. The wind was just howling when we got over there, and the sort of the 11th green and 12th tee particularly sits up on that bluff, and you just can hardly stand. We kept putting the ball on the tee at 12, and it kept blowing off. So it was tough.
Here's Tamari's problem here. His third shot on the 4th, Jack.
He's got a tough one. He's got a long, long shot, and not much you can do with it, I don't think. He'll have a hard time getting 5 out of that. Rossi, there was nothing happening there, was there? Okay.
Now, Rossi is going to jump over to Campbell here briefly and give us a report as he comes in. Corey Pavin needs this for par right now. Jack, it's interesting how you said that the first holes were playing so difficult here today. At the top of the broadcast, you might remember Jack Whitaker showed everybody 8 featured groups. Ladies and gentlemen, those 16 players are a combined 21 over par going out against that wind that Jack Nicklaus told you about. There's the old gray town. Doesn't it look lovely? I hope you get a chance to come visit and play a lot of golf here someday. You'll love it.
The British Open began in 1860 with an ornate red bell as the prize. The terms provided a champion would own the bell if he won the Open 3 years in a row. So after young Tom Mars won his 3rd straight Open in 1870, the belt was his. Lacking a proper prize, there was no British Open in 1871.
Over to the 14th tee. We should say that he has grabbed that lead by the throat, but this is St. Andrews, and there's a lot of trouble still ahead.
Probably the most dangerous tee shot on the golf course. Out of bounds on the right, the Beardies on the left, and he's hit it right up the heart.
Jack, that comment you made about coming home won't be as tough, certainly holding up on that hole. It's playing to a 4.67 today, and John Daly trying to get to the 5th and 2 here.
Didn't play 4.67 for me, Brett.
Daly's got 256 to the flag. Kind of came up and out of the shot, and it's going to be short right. Not too bad a spot if he draws a decent lie, but really not a very good shot from where he was.
Faxon needs this to save par at the 4th, and he has let 2 slip away here in the first 4 holes. So a tough start for Brad. First time he's ever played at St. Andrews is this British Open Championship. Of course, he loves coming over for the competition every year, and very disappointing start for him. And meanwhile, out on the beach, this is the middle of summer, even though the breezes are howling, the sweaters are out, rain jackets, and when Jack teed off today earlier with Davis Love, it was just flat out cold around here. But folks, to the Scots, this is the middle of summer.
Middle of summer, I had 2 sweaters on and looking for a 3rd.
We had some folks, Jack, they were out swimming in the bay yesterday. I think we got a quick glimpse of Julie Crenshaw as we panned the spectators. Of course, Jack's wife, Barbara, out walking every day, and Ernie Els, 3rd shot at the 6th.
Well, it's a putt, but it's up a very steep shelf. My guess would be it's a good 3 feet. He and John Cook played very different shots in here. Ernie threw it up high. The wind just held the ball up, and now he's a long way short of the hole.
It's over the knob and turns right, Judy. Judged it nicely.
Now, Brad, this first bogey. A disastrous start. Second shot for Ben at the 5th.
It's a shot of about 130 yards, but he could play it a number of different ways.
It's got to be his third shot, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah, this is his third shot. He had to lay it up short of the 2 bunkers. Hole right in the center of the green today. Disappointing start for Ben. He'd like to get one back here.
Now, John Cook. This for his third on the 6th.
John lost a stroke to par back at the 2nd with a 3-putt also.
'50, and here's Tamari.
They're going to go sideways. Can you believe that?
And up ahead, here's Daly.
He's drawn a pretty good lie, I think, for the type of shot he has. He's over here short and right of the green. It's kind of a bear lie. Plenty of green to work with. It's the type of shot you'd like to have rolling along the ground as much as possible.
Surely he's the closest as anybody's been to that green in 2 today. That is the darndest green I've ever seen to try to get the ball close. That must be 90 yards long. And it just, for some reason, there's no trouble around it, and you just can't get the ball close. I don't know why.
We've seen all this trouble, and we haven't even showed you the road hole yet. At 7, it's Elkington. And that was, let me just correct that. That, I believe, was the 8th for par there. Was it for Steve? And that's indeed it was. He's 2 under now for the day, 5 under for the championship, 3 behind Campbell. And now it's Crenshaw here on the 5th.
It's interesting watching this pair of John Daly and Ben Crenshaw. I don't think you could ever find a more contrasting twosome, both in terms of style of play and personality and the way they view the game. Here they are together. That'll bring out a little smile, I think. So now John Daly, having watched Crenshaw lay up short of the bunkers and then play well short of the hole and make a 4, where John could have easily reached the green, does not have an easy putt here. Wind is going to blow this ball considerably. It's downhill, but the wind is coming from the left and into him. Very easy to let it get away to the right.
Well, Campbell with a 2-shot advantage, but a couple other stories developing. Bill Glasson, who at one time was tied for the lead in this championship and then took an 8 on the road hole, is 2 under for the day, and he has battled his way back to 4 under par through 12 holes. And just as Jack predicted, Tom Watson is indeed very much in the thick of things at 3 under par for the championship, 2 under for the day. And there is the lovely Woolen Mill, hard by the 18th green. You can go in there, and they'll take all kinds of plastic money. They love to see the Yanks come in. What an assortment of sweaters. I think I saw Jack Whitaker over there making some purchases earlier this week. And we'll return with more third-round coverage of the 124th British Open after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, old Tom Morris could not be with us, but it wouldn't be a British Open if we didn't hear from our BBC colleague, Peter Alice. So we've given Jack Nicklaus a short time off. Peter, a delight to have you over here. What a championship this has developed into.
Oh, thank you for that very gracious introduction. Yes, it's a good one, isn't it? Here's Tom Watson at the 17th for a birdie. A 4 will be good. Oh, yes, it comes. Well, Watson's, as usual, has missed umpteen putts, and he's still right there. If he gets a 3 at the last hole, he'll be, well, come the end of play, I doubt whether he'll be certainly more than a handful of strokes out of the lead, which is quite amazing. 14th hole, this is where the leader, Michael Campbell, is at the moment. He starts off in the top left. The white line down the left-hand side of the graphic is the out-of-bounds wall, where the old railway used to run on that side. The Beardies and the bank, the little strip, the lighter strip, the narrow strip between the Beardies and the point of the hell bunker, that is like an escarpment, a terrace that drops down, and some rough ground in there. This was Campbell's second shot, who has a very nice, tidy swing, sort of in the Steve Elkington mold, up and down. And this hole, of course, although it's so long, playing very short with the wind and the firmness of the ground, he misses the big trap there and goes scampering through the green. There's really nothing between him and the hole except some humpy, bumpy ground. If he can putt it or chip it past that bunker, he should do all right.
Now at the 6th, this is Rocca for birdie.
He's going very well, Brent Rocca. He's a late developer, really, in the game. He has come on a ton. Now, Campbell's third shot, wind left to right. You see the shelf. He's missed that shelf, but he's got it up pretty well, although the wind has taken it away to the right. He's got a chance for a birdie. This is a par 5, so no damage, no real damage done. It's developing into a bit of hit-and-miss day, and I'm sure some of our visitors here for the first time will not be enjoying it, because this will be totally unfamiliar ground to them. This is Faldo at the 9th. Pitch is on the front as Ian doesn't get the movement forward up to the hole that he was looking for. Playing unfamiliar shots. Let's hear from Mark.
Ben Crenshaw's got 195 yards for his second. This hole playing very long today, and this is a low hook. Scampering on up.
Well, the result's very good, Mark. There's so many interesting features on the old course. It's eccentric, it's unique. You either like it or you don't. Life's like that, isn't it? You see all the little bunkers dotted around, the shared fairways, the crossover points, the 7th and the 11th. There's so many things to confuse and frustrate you. But it's always produced great champions, the old course here at St. Andrews.
It's probably never seen the likes of a player like this, who just simply ignores some of the trouble because it's not within his range. He can fly it over. John Daly's only got 145 yards. He hit it 50 yards past Crenshaw.
Back she goes.
Tonight on ABC, a brand new special hour, The Last Days of Russell, followed by a Disney classic on the ABC family movie. Elijah Wood, Jason Robards star in The Adventures of Huck Finn. That's all coming up tonight right here on ABC. Now, Michael Campbell, the fellow that's at the top of the leaderboard, Peter, if we go way back, his family originally from Edinburgh on his father's side. He was born, Michael was down in New Zealand, now lives in Australia. He was a member of the New Zealand team that won the Eisenhower Cup. That was the World Amateur Team Championships, and Michael was second individually. The year was 1992, and what a round he is having here.
Yes, he's only been a professional a couple of years. He's of Maori extraction, rather like the Aborigines or the true blue American Indians, and they're a very proud race of people. This for a birdie, this to go 9 under.
Putting straight downwind, not going to break much.
Got it. 3 birdies in a row, 7 birdies in 14 holes. Faldo at the 9th for a birdie. See how the ball just sort of wanders away from the hole. Jack Nicklaus was saying how difficult it is to get close at the 5th. I think a lot of these greens, they're so big, and it's very hard to get close. So many of the time, people are faced with 30, 40, 50, 60-foot putts, which is very unusual. It's very frustrating, it's very annoying. So it gives a full examination of all a player's characteristics, and just at the end of the day shows us and tells us how clever and how thinking they can be, because this, believe me, is a very different examination paper. Daly from just off the green.
Very difficult putt here. Big elevation change in the first part of the putt. Got to get it up and over the hill.
Tee, Tom Watson. He can get very close if he gets the right line and the right kick and the right bounce. Going up the right-hand side, that's a good spot to be, but the ball seemed to just pitch into the face of one of those mounds and just stopped it. But he's got a good line in from there. He misses the Valley of Sin and a fairly straightforward chip and run. Crenshaw at the 6th for a birdie.
This is a putt that the wind is really going to affect. He's going to wait a minute for the group over here on the 12th green. Many people think that St. Andrews is a second shot course. The more I watch, the more I believe it. We saw Ben Crenshaw out there with a 2-iron. He hit it to within 15 feet of the hole. John Daly, on the other hand, played an 8-iron in. He left it short of the green. This group is still putting over on the 12th. They've just completed their play, so Crenshaw will be able to go now.
Players on the right moving away.
This putt here normally would be a pretty straight putt, but as strong as the wind is blowing, it's got to move it to the left.
Well, we have a massive field here today, 103 having survived the cut. The wind, which made conditions tough yesterday, certainly has not abated. We began the 3rd round with one shot separating 9 golfers, but Michael Campbell has seized the lead.
At age 24, young Tom Morris, 4 times the Open champion, was away from home playing a private money match at North Berwick in 1875 when he received word that his wife was critically ill. By the time he got home to St. Andrews, she was dead. Young Tom, bereft, died in his sleep 3 months later on Christmas Eve. The inscription on his memorial reads, "He thrice in succession won the champion belt and held it without rivalry, and yet without envy, his many amiable qualities being no less acknowledged than his golfing achievements."
We're back. This is the 3rd round, being dominated by the wind here this afternoon. Peter Alice?
Yes, it's by no means gale force. It's dried out, and it's given... oh, look at that. You see, wanders up. That was Corey Pavin putting for a par. So everyone's sort of just treading water except Master Campbell, who's hit some very good shots and holds some tricky putts. I think there are several pin positions yesterday and today. I've never seen them in their positions on this course, and I must say that I think 1 or 2 of them are a bit silly. Watson's pitch to the 18th. That's a pretty straight run in. He's not given it enough. It's doing its best, but that leaves him a pretty straightforward putt up the green. If he could hold that one, that would put him in at 4 under, and he'd be in very good shape, remembering that Campbell's 3 strokes ahead of the field at this moment. Here's the 8th tee right at the far end of the course, the short hole. This flag has been, with the wind where it is, much too close to the front of the green, really. Everyone's going ripping through the back. Today it's in a much easier place. Yesterday it was just over this bunker on the left. No chance of getting close.
It's a 173-yard shot today, and both John Cook and Ernie Els walked well out in front of the tee to try to figure out this wind.
There's another one 40 yards through the green, past the flag. That's the plan of the course. 95 acres the course covers, that's all. Shared fairways, shared greens. There's the loop at the top right side where you've got to really make your score. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Mr. Campbell at the 15th.
Another perfect shot off the tee, right through the saddle. 90 yards to the front edge, 120 to the hole. Wind out of the right, flagstick well back. Plenty of room.
Bit too bold, could go right through and down.
Hit a little thin, Peter.
Got a nice looking swing though, Bob, hasn't he?
Beautiful swing, yes.
Very tight and firm, not too many loops and flicks in it. And for a young player, he's very calm. Tamori at the 6th. .416 yards, the 6th hole. And again, you see the ball looks as if it's going to stop, wanders off, and it just gets on one of those slopes. It can drift right through the green. That one stopped for him, which was okay. He's an ugly-looking player, but he's managing to keep his composure and keeping things going very well. 7th tee, John Daly.
Another huge drive for Daly, but it's well left. Headed over towards the 12th tee.
Well, there's no trouble there, Mark. You were saying, Mark, about people never seeing anything like Daly before. I have to slightly disagree with you, because, you know, this course has been here so long. They had feathery balls and gutty balls, and then the rubber ball appeared, and people in the 30s suddenly were driving the ball much further than anyone had ever seen. So everything is sort of relative. And there's the 7th hole that Daly's on. He's way over there to the left, or the right as we look at the screen. Rocca for a birdie at the 7th. Good putt. That seemed to slow up. The putts into the wind are very slow compared to some downhill. Watson 2-putted at the 18th, got his par 4, so even though he missed umpteen putts, it seemed, he's finished with around a 70, 3 under for the championship, 6 behind Campbell, but Campbell's still got some work to do. You'd have to bet there's certain to be a playoff, wouldn't you, if you were a betting man? It's amazing we don't get a 8 or 10-man playoff every week. Mark James there from England. He's got a good record in this championship. He blew it a bit, although he came in with a 68 early this morning. In fact, the first 20 or 30 players this morning, there were 8 or 9 of them in under par. And then as the wind freshened slightly and the ground got firmer, it's got more and more difficult. This is Campbell at the 15th, putting back.
Up the hill the first part, and then down the hill to the hole.
Another very good judgment of speed and line. There's Kendra Graham for the United States Golf Association. We have a Mrs. Earnshaw representing the British side of things. First time any women have officiated at the Open Championship. 124 have gone by, and never a lady referee until this year. That's progress for you.
Nice going, Peter.
Faldo at the 10th. Amazing, the humps and bumps. Now, this is a kinder position than yesterday. There's someone on the right. The 8th green is on the right. This is a shared green. So you can get movement. It's very distracting. And, of course, very unusual. And those little bunkers that have been there for hundreds of years, which are not in the position that you would put them today in modern golf, but they managed to catch people out. 8th flag on the left. White flag's going out, red coming in. Faldo second at the 10th. Punches it forward. 342 yards. And that stopped very quickly, didn't it? Nicely played shot. 6 or 7 iron, punch forward to keep the ball under the wind. Campbell at the 15th to stay at 9 under and 3 ahead. Everything looks to be working very smoothly. I was thinking of a winner here in '66, Tony Lima, who came here, hardly had a practice round and won the championship. They said it was impossible. I've just met his son now. Not many of you knew he had a son. He was 5 years of age when Tony Lima died. Lives in Hawaii in the real estate business, over here on business. Brought back a lot of memories for me. Corey Pavin at 4 under, 1 over par today. He's at the 9th hole. Now he's got a lofted club. He's going to try and pitch it up and stop it.
Go.
See, that's the mistake. A lot of them are using, they're not playing a flat enough shot to get a bit of kick forward.
Well, things have turned around in the breeze, but the New Zealander, Michael Campbell, playing very well here today. He's at 9 under par for the championship, 7 for his round. Brad Faxon, who was tied for the lead, is 3 over through 5.
For the leader, Michael Campbell. An iron from the tee just for position, probably going down the left side, trying to avoid all the bunkers. Big hop forward.
That ball is way left, Peter, but it's going to be all right. Just in the edge of the rough. Looks like it's sitting up.
Awkward second in from there, though. 7th hole now, John Daly's second shot. Huge drive, but he was down the left-hand side, and that's a comparatively simple line in, and a very good shot from Daly. See again how difficult it is to get close to the flag.
Well, we see Michael Campbell of New Zealand there, Peter, but you know he would not be the first New Zealander to win the British Open. No, Bob Charles back in 1963. He made the cut. He's playing this weekend. Tom Watson certainly with a chance. 2 under 70 for the day, 3 under for the championship. He has joined Steve Melnick. Steve?
All right, Brent, thank you very much, Tom. A solid round of 70 in pretty tough conditions out there. How well did you play?
Well, it was pretty tough conditions. The wind was blowing, again, from the same direction as it did the last 2 days, and as hard as it did yesterday, and it was quite a golf course.
Things were going along pretty well until you got to the par 3 11th. What happened?
Well, I hit it in the famous Strath bunker where Bobby Jones tore up his scorecard, threw his club, and quit. I was about ready to do the same thing. I put it there and I hit a terrible shot left, about 20 yards left for the pin, and really had no play, and so I made double bogey there. But I birdied the 12th hole. I knocked it on the green, the 12th hole with a driver, and 2-putted there, and then I birdied the 16th hole and hit a real good links running wedge shot up about 3 feet from the hole, 16, and that right on the little knob there in the front of the green. That's a very tough pin position today.
Our leader on the course, Michael Campbell, at 7 under par in his round right now. How good is that?
Well, it's obviously it's an exceptional round of golf. Going out, the outgoing 9 is very tough to make some birdies. The incoming 9, you can make some birdies on the incoming 9.
You like the conditions here? The tougher the better for Tom Watson?
Yeah, it's starting to get a little cloudy up there right now, and they're supposed to have some rain and 4-7 winds tomorrow. It's just my type of weather.
All right, Tom, good luck tomorrow. Brent, back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And a reminder, as we take a look here at Daly, and that was at the 7th for a birdie, Peter.
Yes, it must intrigue a lot of viewers at home, wondering, what this is all about, because there are 3 holes here that have that can be driven and have been driven: 9th, the 12th, and the 18th. That doesn't happen very often in championship play. Those are the nasty clouds, or dramatic clouds, we'll call them, that are rolling in. And there's a long way to go. There's about another 3 hours play before we finish today.
And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow, Peter, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific on ABC. Have a little golfing breakfast with us as we return to St. Andrews for final round coverage of the British Open Championship. Then at 3 Eastern, defending champion Al Unser Jr. battles IndyCar's best on the shores of Lake Erie in the Cleveland IndyCar Grand Prix. All tomorrow right here on ABC. What a traffic jam that'll be in Cleveland with everyone trying to get to the Indians game. I assume they're on the road. And this is fascinating to take a look at the fellows who are sprinkled at the top of our leaderboard, how they have fared in the majors. Campbell, you can see, was at the British Open a year ago down at Turnberry. Didn't make the cut, didn't play on Saturday and Sunday. And here is our leader, Peter.
Second at the 16th.
That was from 150 out of a flying lie. He's got to land it short. Beautifully played shot right there.
Yes, he was perhaps a touch unlucky. He was lucky and unlucky. It bounced, so it looked as if it was going to be the shot of the day, but it wasn't to be. 11th tee now, Nick Faldo. 172 yards and the flag right over the top of the bunker. The thing here is, if you can play one to the back of the green and get a bit of good fortune, it'll come back down the hill. Michael Campbell did exactly that with a 3-iron earlier today. Went to the top of the hill and came right back to within about 10, 12 feet of the hole. He's hit that a bit heavy. I think he caught the ground. Doesn't like it much. In there. You could... that's a bunker in the middle there that Tom Watson was saying he was in. Because the sides of the bunkers are so steep, if you're at the wrong angle, wrong side of the bunker, you have to play out sideways or backwards. You can't always advance it towards the flag. Screen shared with the 7th, which is away down the bottom left-hand side of our picture. Down in there. This is the crossover point. The player's coming across the 11th, a bit of the 11th fairway. This is why play yesterday, one of the reasons why play was so slow. The waiting, the crossover, the crowd control. It's not a great course to watch because you don't allow, no spectators are allowed in the middle ground between the fairways. So you've got to go around the perimeter all the time. Looking down on the 8th tee. Up on the green at the top there, Constantino Rocca. For a par, though. Now, he looks to be aiming well off. Just overdone it. But the greens are getting a sort of glassy look now, which well, the purists love, of course, and the modern players hate. This is how it should be played, laddie. Even today, that's good playing.
Well, Campbell of New Zealand showing the way here at 9 under par, but a chance to take a look at how the Americans are faring here at St. Andrews. John Daly playing quite well. It's 5 under par. You see Corey Pavin at 4 under. Brad Faxon has slipped a bit. Mark Calcavecchia, the last American to win the British Open. He's through for the day. He's sitting in at 1 under par. And of the 55 Americans who teed up here on Thursday, 37 of them made the cut and are playing here today and tomorrow. Well, you know, Peter, the Tinted Village is over there alongside the old course, just behind the hotel. And we are back at the British Open. This is on videotape. Peter Alice.
Yes, the championship leader from the back of the green gets a nice tidy 4 at the 16th. This flag stick today is in a very cruel position. The wind comes in off the right. The spectators very close to the green and the out of bounds just beyond them. Early on tape, Crenshaw, this is his tee shot at the first of the short holes.
This is a 7-iron shot for Ben. Certainly plenty of club downwind today.
Yeah, that was nearly a very clever shot. He started it way to the right. A little less strength, and that might well have come in sideways. 17th tee now, Michael Campbell. Just this one treacherous hole must be overcome. He could afford to play this for a 5. If he did, he'd probably get a 4. Now that's not in bad shape at all. Down the right-hand side, as they come down, he's got a good line into the green from there. This is one of the most difficult holes in the world of golf. I think it's grown in stature over the years because, well, so many dramatic things have happened. The road at the back of the green used to be old stones and rough ground. Oh, we was going to pick that up. Daly at the 8th for a par, but it wasn't to be. Just perhaps hit a little too hard.
He had played a magnificent second shot from behind the green, too. Really a shame to let that one get away.
But he's still all right. He's doing okay. He just keeps cool. Going over now to Faldo in the bunker, not lying too badly. Good break. It's a wonderful shot. Oh. And it's such shots that win championships. A total bonus. A very well played shot, but well, you could put him there all day long and he wouldn't perhaps do it again. Crenshaw at the 8th.
He missed it from about this length back at 7. Good save there, though.
Well, we just saw Nick Faldo hole out, and as many of you realize, it's legal to wager on golf over in the United Kingdom. And after his 67 yesterday, the bookmakers here quickly installed Nick Faldo as the favorite to win the championship. Now, keep in mind that he was 3 shots off the lead, and even today he has not yet made that big move, even though that was a wonderful golf shot. But they rated Faldo, Ernie Els, and Corey Pavin as the top 3 choices following the second round yesterday. So now we have an amateur story, and it is a delight to report that 4 of the 5 who teed it up on Thursday made the cut, and 6'8" Gordon Sherry has delighted one and all. He played with Greg Norman, Tom Watson, beat them both head to head, and here he is, Peter. He still is 2 under par right now, and Steve Webster there is under par. So a great race for low amateur here.
Yeah, that's nice to see. Now the 12th, 316 yards. This is one that's been driven many times. Certainly this week, as well as over the years. Now there are lots of hidden bits and pieces of trouble that you've got to be careful of. It's not just a question of bashing it down and hoping for the best. We'll go to the 9th. This is Rocca's second shot. The green and the fairway all seem to blend into one at the 9th. There's nothing round and about it at all. But again, I think you want a running shot rather than a pitch. And that's what's happening time and time again. The lofted shots are not paying dividend at all. Downwind, if you get a bit of stop on it, you're left with 15, 18 yard putts all the time. Faldo at the 12th. Get very close to this green if he misses the trouble. I don't think he landed in there. I think he's probably short of it. I hope for his sake he's short of it. He's not. That could be lost ball. That could be a reload job. The 11th, Vijay Singh with the sun visor, white shirt. There he is. He's 2 under. Apart from Campbell, who's now 4 strokes ahead, there are almost 30 players within 4 strokes. Quite remarkable scoring. Nobody making many moves except for Campbell. Beauty. Oh, unlucky. Thought he got it.
So certainly a reminder that as we watch Vijay finish up, we'll be back here tomorrow for the final round of this British Open Championship, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 along the Pacific Network. We'll return to St. Andrews, and then at 3 Eastern, defending champion Al Unser Jr. battles IndyCar's best on the shores of Lake Erie in the Cleveland IndyCar Grand Prix. So that's what's coming your way tomorrow right here on ABC. Michael Campbell, 4 shots ahead of the field in a fierce wind here at St. Andrews, and this the 3rd round. It is hard to believe that anyone has been able to pull away, but he has played a splendid round. Peter Alice and Bob Rosberg have been describing that tighty swing of his, and it has resulted in 7 under par in this round. Peter?
Well, Campbell's hit a good tee shot just off the fairway. Is he okay, Bob?
He's perfect, Peter, as far as line is concerned. He hit a very gutty drive and a very long one. He's in the right-hand rough. You don't see too many balls there. The ball is above his feet, and his ball is lying in a dry spot, but in a little depression. And with the ball above his feet and all that threat of that road, you got to worry about coming over the top of it and hitting it left. Wind out of the right. He has 165 yards to the hole.
Well, we'll see if he shows a little cleverness, a bit of imagination here, because it's possible to take a 6-iron or even a 7 and just play a 3/4 shot, the ball not getting more than 30 feet in the air, lands it 30 yards short of the green, and just let it run forward.
So there, that camera that has been installed by the BBC gave you a glimpse of the golf ball, which has found the road hole bunker. This is one of the most treacherous holes in all of golf, and there you can see how they have played it coming through today. So for the 3 rounds so far, we have had a total of only 9 birdies.
The British Open is conducted by the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews, an organization of 2,200 individual members from 50 countries, including an elite 275 from the United States. The R&A and the USGA have a partnership whereby they make the game's rules. In fact, they jointly own the rules of golf. Michael Banalik is secretary of the R&A. That means he is in charge of the R&A's daily activities and directs a staff of 44. Banalik was the premier British amateur golfer of his time. He won the British amateur title 5 times. His work can be demanding. In return, he gets to work in an office in the R&A clubhouse with a view that goes beyond the spectacular into the realm of the sublime.
At the 12th, that wild tee shot. The ball was found unplayable. This is his 3rd shot. And that stays on the low ground, and he's still left with much to do. Again, a simple hole, just 300-odd yards in length, 316 yards are going to cost him 1, maybe 2 shots. Rusak's Hotel and the walkway down and some of those private houses on the left. The R&A own one of them, Aldrin House. The other clubs of St Andrews all have their premises along there. Campbell's 4 ahead at the moment of Rocca. But Faldo, huge putt. That's his 4th shot. So this is the hole that, well, Tom Watson certainly drove it on here earlier today. And Faldo struggling not to drop 2 strokes after having that wonderful result at the last hole where he holed out a Strath bunker for a 2. The 11th, Corey Pavin for a birdie. Very slow putt up there. Up the hill against the wind. It fools everybody. You don't want to go past the hole. Here's our leader in the road bunker at the 17th. Now he's got to be very, very careful here.
He's got to go out to the left, Peter. He has no stance to shoot it at the flag, if he could.
I don't know why he doesn't go round left more towards the caddy, as you say. He might get it out. This isn't as difficult as it was years ago. The sand sweeps up to the face now. If you hit it hard... Oh, he got a break there. That was a break in a million. That was a break in a million.
Look at this. Unbelievable right there.
That's the best fluke of the week we've seen. Wonderful result for the young man. Hit the bank. The reverse of that was Jack Nicklaus the other day at the 14th, where he hit the bank of the bunker and went in, stayed in. But that was amazing. You'll see on slow-mo how the ball hits the bank and that spins it out to the right. This is a total fluke. You couldn't do this again in 5 million years, I doubt. Watch the ball hit halfway up the bank, and it then spins away to the right, takes all the pace off it, and it'll just ease its way down the hill to virtually hits the bank there, and it goes up in the air. You may have got a better shot from the camera behind him. That's the camera in the wall of the bunker. And, well, it just tiptoed onto the top, and look at this for a result. That is amazing. As many of you will remember years ago, Tommy Nakajima got on the green here, front of the green in 2, putted into the bunker for 3, took 4 more to get out. But as I say, it's not so difficult as it used to be. Daly at the 9th.
He's waited for the green to clear some 360 yards away. And this will easily reach.
Steady. Faldo at the 12th. No, still a bit to do, to only drop 2 strokes, all caused by a poor tee shot. Nothing to do with anything else. Now Campbell's got to compose himself, because the crowd had gone bananas at the back of this green, having seen that ball come up so close. If he puts this in and gets a 3 at the last, it'll be some round of golf. Dead center. Wow. 17th hole yesterday was the last time he dropped a stroke. He's a very cool young customer. See how close the 18th tee is to the 17th green. Now, we talked about the shot that Campbell just played where he got a ricochet off the side of the green, off the side of the bunker. This was Jack Nicklaus. Now, he's trying to get distance out of the bunker. Now, watch the result here. He hits the bank in front of him, and the ball shoots away to the left like that. Now, that's almost what's just happened. That sort of thing has just happened to Michael Campbell, who is the championship leader. It worked the other way, and, well, I don't think I've ever seen... I didn't think that was possible to happen. Jack tries again. He's asking what's over the top, and he gives this a hit, and it doesn't come out yet again. He ended up taking 10 here, did Jack, which is a very... He said that it wasn't the highest score he'd ever done. That hit the bank, and he goes back in the other side. You remember all this, Jack?
I'm trying to forget, Peter.
Well, the 17th was quite remarkable because this shot of this young man's, he's taking it's almost perpendicular. The ball hits sort of quite near the top. Oh, that's Jack. Sorry, that was Jack again from the other day. That was an up and out.
That one I missed the bank, Peter.
Yeah, still a hell of a good shot. But I think that bunker is easier than it was years ago. The sand has been raked up into the face, and you can get it on an uphill line. 9th now. John Daly's driven the green.
Very swift putt here for Eagle.
Well, Michael Campbell has stormed the sands of Nakajima, saving par at 17. He's only 7 under par for this round.
St. Andrews is a university town. In fact,
Coverage left here on ABC. Peter Alice has rejoined his colleagues at the BBC. We welcome back Jack Nicklaus, and he's joined by Steve Melnick. Steve?
All right, Brent, thank you very much. It has been a magnificent round for Mr. Campbell, but first let's go out to the par 4 9th and Crenshaw for par. Hit a spike mark. One of the rare spike marks, Jack, that you see out here on these greens.
Well, I don't know whether it was a spike mark, Steve, but it was certainly moved the ball. Ben tapped it down when he went by, so it must have been. But you don't find very many spike marks.
Here at the home hole, Michael Campbell.
I don't think he was going to take any chance on going right there. I don't blame him.
Jack referring to the out of bounds down the right-hand side of this home hole. About 120 yards across this 1st and 18th fairways. Now, John Daly, after that magnificent tee shot, this for birdie at 9. I don't think you could spell finesse right now as relates to what John Daly is doing out here. He's trying to overpower a golf course that you rarely are successful doing so. Now Rocca for birdie at 10. He is very quietly. Jack played a nice round at even par. Good scoring in these conditions.
Yeah, I think that par is an awfully good round today, and to see what Michael Campbell's doing, I mean, he's lapping the field today.
Well, the 2 lowest scorers, Mark James and Barry Lane, out very early this morning, shot 68. Here Campbell is coming to the home hole with a chance for birdie as Rocca goes for his.
Stop.
In any language, you understand that?
Stop.
Now Daly at the reachable par 4 10th.
Not today, I don't think.
Oh, he popped it up.
Well, and he's pulled it left, too. It needs a good bounce.
Got a little lucky.
He's all right there. I would think that even for Daly, that driver's not a very good play there. Not today.
Jack, what kind of shot does he have here, and what are his options?
He couldn't have an easier shot, Steve. He doesn't even have to play over the valley. He's playing up against the hill. He's playing crosswind. The only shot he could be easier would be closer. And there's no problems behind it. It was actually a very well-placed tee shot. Played a pitch and run, which kind of surprised me.
And now Faldo at 13 to recoup some ground. This for birdie. rare tactical error for Faldo back at the short 12th. Led to a double bogey. And he comes back nicely.
Well, that's, you know, that's what your champions are made of. When they have some problems, they come right back. And through the years, you look at all the great players. When they had trouble and they had to come back, that's how they got themselves back in golf tournaments. Faldo's a great player.
Well, it's interesting. We began the day, one of those tied for the lead was Brad Faxon of the United States. He shot a 67. Brad quickly gave up 3 of those shots, but now a birdie has left him 2 over for the day. He is at 4 under par, and as Jack and Steve have reminded you, there's an awful lot of golf ahead for Campbell tomorrow. You can just imagine the pressures. He's going to go in and meet the international media soon. They're going to be asking him about this brilliant round, and then he'll have all night to think about his chance to win the British Open. And a reminder that Monday night, the Boys of Summer are on ABC. You will see your favorite team in action on Baseball Night in America. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Live regional coverage begins Monday at 8, 7 Central, right here on ABC.
A thrilling moment for a young man who could be a footnote in history to this 124th playing of the British Open, the 25th appearance here at St. Andrews. Jack, whether he makes or misses, it will be a either restful or very restless night for Mr. Campbell.
Well, I don't know Michael Campbell, so I don't know what his feelings will be, Steve, but I would think he's going to have a lead in the golf tournament. I don't think there's any question about that. I can't imagine anybody playing 4 under the backside to time, but he's going to have a little bit to think about. He's a young fella. His experience says that he's played pretty well this year, but let's watch this putt. See what he does with this.
To put into perspective the greatness of what he has done, of the 73 players that have completed their 3rd round, the average score is 73.8. Michael Campbell fires a 65 and finishes at 9 under par.
So New Zealand's Michael Campbell with the lead. We'll return with more 3rd round coverage after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Greatness of Campbell's round. Broadhurst and Ian Baker Finch, both of whom fired 63, 64, 1990. The winning score that year was 18 under par. The golf course Jack played relatively benign that year.
Yeah, 1990 is as easy as I've ever seen St. Andrews play, Steve. You could throw the ball at the pin, and the 3rd round obviously was a round that you could do pretty much what you wanted to with the golf course. There was a lot of low scores. I mean, today, this score is unbelievable.
Well, this is head and shoulders above what anyone expected today, as John Daly has his long birdie putt at the 10th. We want to dwell on his ability to hit the ball a long way, but he has remarkable touch around the greens.
Oh, Daly's got a wonderful touch around the green. He's very soft hands, and he putts well, and he does very well around the green, Steve.
Now, what about this one?
Well, that's goes up a pretty good elevation. You can see it going way up, and then it goes over the hill, and then it'll bend around and go behind the hole. Now it might even roll back a little bit, but it's from there. The object is obviously to get it somewhere around where you can make your next putt.
It is a treacherous par 3. Tom Watson mentioned moments ago he made 5 here. Now, Nick Faldo. That was at 14. Well, as always, it is a pleasure to have our resident bard with us. In this case, Mr. Jack Whitaker. Jack, what do you have for us?
Well, we've seen this old course here at St. Andrews on pretty good conditions today, with the wind offering a lot of challenge. And I think maybe it's time we tend to be commentators and writers to rhapsodize and maybe get over sentimental about this old course at St. Andrews. Maybe it's time for that dreaded phrase called a reality check. Most Americans do not like St. Andrews when they first see it. In fact, many of them are appalled at it, and that goes for some of our best golfers. Bob Jones hated it when he first saw it, walked off the course in anger. Sam Snead had to be restrained from walking off the first tee. Tony Lima thought it was a horrendous place. Then those that learn about it and come back for a second or third time soon become enchanted with it. Bob Gardner, one of our great amateur players and Walker Cup captain in 1927, said the first time he played, he thought it was the worst golf course in the world. The second time, he said it was quite a good course. And his third visit to St. Andrews, he concluded it was the best golf course in the world. Well, what then is the mystique about this place? Well, I think it's quite simple. Nobody designed this golf course. Nobody with a pencil and $2 million and 5 bulldozers. This was made by nature. It comes out of the ground. It was done with wind and rain and sun and the help of a few sheep. And so while to most Americans and other people, it's not love at first sight at St. Andrews. St. Andrews' old course is like a dry martini, an acquired taste. And as such, it remains with you forever.
Thank you, Jack. And as always, I think you punctuate that by the great champions that have won here. Pavin for par 12. Just kind of hanging in there at 4 under. Rusak's Hotel there, looking over the 18th fairway. Well, for some words from our leader, we go down to our Frank Hannigan. Frank?
Up down here with Michael Campbell leading by 4 shots. Michael, you had an amazing 17th hole, particularly the bunker shot. We're going to show it to you, and you tell us what it was about.
Yeah, well, I was very close. There it goes there, very close. I was very fortunate. I actually hit the lip of the bunker, and popped out right to the very top. There it goes there. And there, it was very, very fortunate indeed.
Did you ever think of playing out sideways?
No, well, actually, I've been practicing those shots during the practice rounds, and I practiced where these balls probably closer than that to the lip. So, you know, I knew I could do it, so it was very fortunate indeed.
Michael, you played briefly in the United States. When was that? What was that about?
That was the St. Louis Open.
Which is what?
It was part of the Tommy Armour Tour. And then,
sort of a mini tour.
Yeah, it was actually the week of the U.S. Open, and I missed qualifying for the U.S. Open, so I went to the U.S. Open. Sorry, the St. Louis Open. So I actually won it.
You won it?
Yeah, I shot 65 in the last round to win by 1.
Michael, you've done very well on the European Tour this year. 5 top 10 finishes, very, very well. Are you totally committed to the European Tour, or could you see yourself playing in the States?
Well, I think I'll probably spend 2 or 3 years here first, trying to find my feet here, and then venture on to the US, maybe in 2 or 3 years' time.
Jack Nicklaus called your round today unbelievable. Do you believe it?
I can't yet, no. I can't believe it yet.
Michael, what are you going to do tonight?
I'll just do the same routine as the last 3 days, you know, just go out there and just have a few drinks with my friends and family and just relax and go to bed whenever and just get up and do the same thing.
Wonderful, Michael. We congratulate you. Have a good night and a very good day tomorrow, if you will.
Thank you very much.
And back to the booth.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. That round of 65 turns Mr. Campbell from who's he to a who's who here at St. Andrews. So go out to the 11th tee and Ben Crenshaw.
And very sadly, Ben Crenshaw has totally lost what is one of the great putting touches of all time. He missed a putt on the last hole that it appeared to me was less than a foot long. 3-putted at the 9th, and really has let the championship start to slip away now. Levin playing very difficult today, 160 yards. Wind hard from the left and into the player's face here. Pretty good result there. About 20 feet left to the flag.
That other ball on the green you saw there was John Daly, and here was his shot moments ago.
John Daly hit a gorgeous shot here. Actually kept the ball much lower than he usually does into the wind. Played a little bit of a fade. And this is just about as close as you can get it here today, I think.
Marvelous effort in very trying conditions here. Michael Campbell, a career round of 65 as he assumes the lead at 9 under par.
There is no higher honor in golf than to be elected captain of the R&A and then to represent the club at all manner of functions for a year. But first, the captain must undergo an excruciating ordeal by driving himself in on the old course before a sizable audience early on a September morning. The caddies of St. Andrews line the fairway to retrieve the ball, which the captain buys back for a gold sovereign. When Prince Edward, later the Duke of Windsor, drove off as captain in the 20s, it was said the caddies stood disrespectfully close to the tee.
Michael Campbell, a round of 65, 9 under par for the championship, but chasing him, John Daly. And here's Daly out on the par 3 11th.
This ball's going to break to his right.
You know, he played so well at Turnberry last year, opened with rounds of 68, 72, 72, then ballooned to 80 when his putter left him on the inward 9 on the final round. We take a look at the wonderful par 3 11th. Jack, how do you rank this par 3?
Well, Steve, I think it's one of the most dangerous par 3s. I think if you hit a good, solid shot, hit it to the left of the Strath bunker, it's not too difficult. But obviously, if you miss it, this is what happens.
And that's Fred Couples in the 1990 British Open. Hit the stacked wall. Now, about to play his third. Just kind of your basic up and down for par.
It's the green pitch is probably about 6 or 7% behind the hole. So a ball will hit into the green and go to the back, and it'll roll right back down the hill. And of course, it's got about a 12 or 14 degree pitch right in front, and it's got that one little level area through it. And then the pin where I'm sure they'll stick it tomorrow is back in the back right. And they've used the Strath bunker twice, and they've used the left side once, so they used the back right once. And it's a very difficult par 3, but it obviously can be had with a good shot.
And you do not want to hit it over this green.
No.
Well, we talked about the fine round that Michael Campbell is playing. Steve Elkington, very tidy, 2 under par on his round today, 5 under in all. So we have a correction in Elkington's score. He just made birdie at the par 5 14th to go to a 3 under in his round, and 6 under now for the championship.
And he's hit that perfect. He's 100 yards from the front edge of the green right there, the little white mark.
Tom Watson completed with a round of 70. Faldo battled back now to 3 under after that double bogey at the par 4 12th. Barry Lane out early this morning. Fired a round of 68. Gordon Sherry, the British Amateur champion. Now Nick Faldo on the tee here at 15. And Faldo, like Elkington, birdied the 14th. Jack, what do you want to avoid here at 15?
Well, I think you pick a club off the tee, Steve, that'll keep you short of those 3 little bunkers that you're looking at short. The pin today is tucked right on the right side, so you have to play left. I try to hit the ball just into that neck on the left and I left myself with a 9-iron today, about 140 yards downwind. And I think most of the guys are hitting 9-iron wedge into that green, but you just have to throw it to the left of the hole. You just can't miss it right.
All right, at this time, we would like to say hello to two old friends back home in America who are on the mend, and to tell them we miss them very much here at St. Andrews. Jim McKay and Dave Marr. And we look forward to their return very, very shortly.
We're at the par 4 15th, where Nick Faldo is about to play a second shot.
Flagstick really tucked on the far right side of the green. Nick with about 160 yards to the hole. Ball lying just on the side of a bank, kind of a grassy little bank, but the lie really isn't a problem. It's just the fact that the ball's well above his feet.
Well, he's in the rough there, Judy, and I don't think he has much chance to stop the ball around the hole. A smart play is out about 20 feet left of the hole, and trying to judge your distance rather than direction on this particular shot.
Jack, you seem to fight the wind going out and the bounce coming in.
Well, I think that if the wind switched the other way, you'd fight it the other way,
sure.
Steve. I mean, I think when you're going downwind, the ball just continues to go, and into the wind, it gets killed by the wind, and of course, obviously, if the wind's sweeping it sideways.
Well, in this case, both the wind and the lie working the ball back to Nick's left.
Careful. Not good.
Well, he played the right direction. He played it out 20, 25 feet left of the hole, which was a smart shot, but that just couldn't stop it out of that rough.
Steve Elkington, second shot.
Steve's got the ideal angle to have any chance of hitting it close to the hole.
This is Sam Torrance, the popular Scott, here at 17. Oh, that's close to the right. What a brave tee shot. What's your aiming point there, Jack?
Well, I aim it right over the old. And, you know, I take the whole word. Some of the guys take the O-L or D, but I take the whole word. And if it's downwind, I play a 3-wood. If it's not so much wind, I play a driver, Steve. And I think that fellows today are probably playing 3-woods or 1-irons even. I played with Davis Love this morning. He had a 1-iron.
So you're saying you play over the old as an old course hotel?
Right, that's sitting right in front of you.
Like so many holes here at the old course, the farther right you hit it, the easier the second, but you have to be brave to do so.
You're playing it right over the corner of the hotel there, as you can see. And
out of bounds right, too.
Out of bounds right. Of course, the further you hit it, the further the out of bounds goes away from you. So it's not all that bad if you're... The problem is when you're playing probably into the wind, and the ball has a chance of ballooning on you, then the old course hotel has a chance of really being in play.
The British amateur champion, Gordon Sherry, and Jack, you played with him in a practice round.
I played with him in practice. This young man's got I think, a tremendous future, Steve. He's got a wonderful touch. He's got a wonderful attitude. He's 6'8". He's a big man. He's strong. I think we haven't heard of him in America, but you're going to hear a lot of this 21-year-old. He's finishing up his college biochemistry, and I think that you're going to see him on the tour very shortly, though.
Now, Tamori at the 11th for birdie. Five under par and in good shape. Now, Constantino Rocca has driven the par 4 12th. This for eagle. Is it enough? Yes.
That's a pretty fancy score on that hole.
This is a young man who has played very well on the European Tour this year. Has an outside chance to make the Ryder Cup team with a good finish this week. Could sew up a position on on the upcoming Ryder Cup at Oak Hill up in Rochester. Now Pavin, tee shot at 14.
This is a good one. Down the left-hand side of the fairway. Pretty long, too.
Rossi, he may be kidded about his length. He drove the 18th green yesterday.
That's right. He's added a little length. He'd surprise you.
Faldo, third shot at 15. That was moments ago. He didn't seem to like it, but it's not too bad a shot, given how quickly he had to get the ball up. Now Steve Elkington from birdie.
What else? He just quietly plays along, doesn't he? Marvelous tempo, great attitude. He's a very, very nice player.
No real weaknesses in his game.
No, he's very solid. I like Elkington's game very much. And I like him. I think he handles himself very well.
John Daly, now at the 12th.
316 yards. He thinks he can reach it with a 2-iron.
All you can do is wonder.
I'm sorry he even doubted the thought that he could. He's a little short, but that's a mighty big 2-iron.
Just kind of sneaked it around the gorse here where Faldo hit it moments ago. He's just on the front edge of the green. Now Faldo for par.
Stevie really hit an excellent bunker shot, but back into the wind. I know that he expected the ball to stop a little quicker than it did.
He's straight downhill and downwind here, isn't he, Judy?
The putt is downwind, yes.
And downhill, isn't it?
Pretty flat spot. The hole is just about in the lowest part of the green today, I would say.
I guess the wind makes you think it's downhill.
That's Rocca. Tee shot at the 13th.
That's a lot of club to have in your hand there.
Hit it up into the slope. Yes, he has.
Yeah, he's hit it up into the rough, and that's not going to be a very pretty next shot.
Well, there were 55 Americans that began play this week. John Daly, low American at 5 under par. U.S. Open champion Corey Pavin just won back. A good representative showing by the Americans. In fact, in the last 11 British Opens, only Mark Calcavecchia with his win at Troon is the only American to win over that time frame. The great old town of St. Andrews, the oldest town in the country of Scotland, founded in 1411. As we look way off in the distance, the cathedral ruins of the old great town. A magnificent place, steeped with history, wonderful tradition, the home of God. And we'll return with more third-round coverage of the 124th British Open after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Steve Elkington, the par 4 16th, the driver.
That's a very dangerous play, I think, Steve.
He's done it perfectly, though.
He just missed the Deacon Syme, I think, is what he just missed there.
Exactly right.
Now, Phil Mickelson, tee shot at 17. I think Mickelson has an opportunity to do very well in this championship as his game matures. He's certainly got the touch around the greens. John Daly now, his second at the par 4 12th.
He's going to putt it from off the front edge. Needs to be real careful here. And he hit it beautifully. That ball could have gone down in the swale in front of the green if he hit it too far right.
Ben Crenshaw 4 over on his round today, 1 under in all. John Daly playing nicely, 1 over but 5 under in all. Michael Campbell, a career round of 65, ties the lowest score he has ever made as a golf professional. And what a time to do it. Ernie Els, many thought he would be a factor today. 2 over par in his round, 3 under in all. Sam Torrance, the Scot, playing well as we go out to the 12th, and Daly for birdie.
He just watched Ben Crenshaw miss another short one. But he doesn't.
So Daly moves to 6 under.
Yeah, that's what you've got to do coming down that loop. I mean, Daly played the loop very nicely, and that's where you've got to make your score in this golf course. It's the only place that the hole sort of opens up.
Rocca. Rocca played the bounce very nicely. Drove the ball, Jack, as you said, too far.
He drove it too far, and he got very lucky with that shot because the ball landed in the hollow, and it could have stayed in that high grass and had a very difficult shot. But he got the right bounce, and of course that's whoever said that luck wasn't part of this game.
Rocca's actually played this course many times. He's represented Italy 4 times in the Dunhill Cup here, so he's very familiar with how this course might play with varying weather conditions. Now ahead at 16, Steve Elkington set to play his second.
Is he going to run it or pitch it, Judy?
Well, he's taken a lofted club, Jack. It's certainly a difficult hole placement today.
If you're going to take a lofted club, he's got to just play it by the hole.
104 yards. And he's losing it to the right.
Got lucky, stayed up on the shelf.
That's a very, very, very small shelf. I'm going to assure you of that. There's a very abrupt bank in front of it and a big slope behind it, and it's not very large. It's pretty difficult to do. And it's sitting right next to the out of bounds. You carry it a little far, it takes a skip forward, and it's trouble.
Moments ago, Faldo played.
You see, he's played it left of the hole and tried to bounce it up, which is a very, very intelligent shot. He's left himself 30 feet to the left of the hole, but it was a very smart shot.
He controls the trajectory of his ball as nicely as anybody in golf.
He plays very nicely over here. He plays a lot of different kinds of shots, and he controls. He plays by trajectory. That's how he plays golf, and does a good job of it.
So Elkington with a makeable birdie putt at 16, 3 shots behind our leader, Michael Campbell. The amateur Gordon Sherry continues his good play. Ben Crenshaw, as Mark Rolfing said, most unusual putting woes today. Daly on the tee at 13.
He needs to be careful about hitting it too far here also.
Jack, did you ever swing that hard?
I don't think so, Steve. As I say, I hit it that far, but he used more club.
Gordon Sherry, the amateur. Dangerous second shot at 17 from the first cut of rough. And, fellas, that is no good.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Must have had it down in the deep grass. The grass wrapped around his hosel, pulled it left, and he is in the downslope in some deep grass in an untenable position. Now Rocca for his birdie putt at 13. Ooh, that is well short. Faldo, birdie putt, 16.
Now this should putt fairly slow. It's right back into the teeth of the wind.
As Faldo marks, it will be Steve Elkington's turn to play. So, Jack, you like this player's game as it relates to major championship golf?
Well, I like Steve's game, period. Steve hasn't won a major championship yet, and he's won a lot of tournaments, and he's played well. And I remember the first time I played with Steve, he was a college player at the University of Houston. I'd won the Masters in '86, and I went down to Houston and played in the tournament and played a practice round with him. I was very impressed with him then, and I have been ever since. And he's, I like how level he stays when he plays. I don't think the wind will bother him very much when he plays that way. And I think that's anybody who's up and down a lot has trouble playing in the wind, and he doesn't. He's just very, very solid and steady.
Jack, his golf swing's so good that sometimes it's hard to understand why he doesn't play well all the time.
Well, I think he probably does play well all the time, Judy, to a certain degree, but I think he just hasn't broken through to win that first major championship yet, and that's the toughest one to win.
He is in... Excuse me, Judy.
Went through a little illness a couple of years ago, but he's well again.
Found he was allergic to grass.
Not good for a golfer, is it? Actually, there's a lot of golfers I think are allergic to grass.
Ernie Els now, second shot at the par 5, 14th. Now it's got to slow down. You can't imagine how firmly this course is playing today. Els has not made a single birdie all day. Now Faldo for par. Now, 13, John Daly, his second shot.
Got a shot of just over 120 yards, straight downwind. Needs to start it right of the flag. Going to try and avoid the deep grass swale. Ooh, and he just barely carried it. Good result.
We're in the backstretch of the third round here at the 124th playing of the Open Championship. Right now it is Michael Campbell with a brilliant round of 65, enjoying a 2-shot lead. Favorite local son, Scott. Sam Torrance for birdie from the home hole, very back edge. And like that, Mr. Torrance goes to 4 under par. Nice showing by Sam, a fine round of 71. Michael Campbell, absolutely brilliant on a day that does not lend itself to low scoring. Goes out and fires a round of 65. U.S. Open champion Corey Pavin now at the par 4, 15th.
Corey hit an iron well left in the left-hand rough. Has a nice lie and actually a pretty good angle into that right flagstick. Wind not blowing as hard as it has all day. That was from 165.
Just get up, and that's good. Get up. Go.
Beautifully played. This golf course, Jack, requires incredible numbers of different shots, isn't it?
And you can do so many different things. You can go from 4 or 5 iron off the tee to a driver off the tee.
Unfortunately, that was a double bogey for the amateur Gordon Cherry. So our second shot get hung up well short of the green to the left. Made a hole-in-one playing with you, Jack, in a practice round, did he not?
Yes, he did. We were playing and knocked in an 8 iron at the 8th hole.
That's Crenshaw for par. And what a disappointing round it has been for Gentle Ben, current Masters champion. 4 over par in his round today. Studied this course so many times. Now Daly for par.
This is going to be a very slow putt, dead into the wind, needs to hit it firmly.
Ball hopped on him. Good par. Gordon Cherry, Jack, does he have the length to reach it?
I doubt if he's playing driver, Steve. I think he can knock it on there with the 3-wood. He might be hitting driver, but he's very long.
This is the Englishman, David Guilford, setting to play at the 17th, his second shot. And that is very near, if not in, the famous road hole bunker. Now Sherry on the tee at 18. Kind of hit into the upslope of one of those knobs just short of 18. Kind of killed it. It carries over like Pavin did yesterday. You get the forward bounce, you can knock it on the green. Now Steve Elkington has reached the tee at 17.
Well, if my eyes don't deceive me, he's taken a 3-wood.
I think that's the right play for him today. 3-wood or maybe even a 1 iron. Depends what he feels comfortable with. I always tell my children, I said, the kids when they're out playing, I said, you know, when you're standing on a tee, if you're not comfortable with a driver, go to a 3-wood. If you're not comfortable with a 3-wood, go to a 1 iron. Keep going till you find a club you're comfortable with. And you know, it's usually there are 4 or 5 shots on a golf course that you have to get through, and this is one of them. And you better pick a club that you're comfortable with.
Well, and with the wind direction, I don't think it's that costly for distance versus the driver.
No, that's exactly right.
He's got to be careful going left.
Yeah, see, he could have probably been a little safer with a 1 iron, but he looks like he's got a fairly decent lie there. But anything left is such a hard angle into that hole.
We saw Vijay Singh yesterday hit it left. Almost couldn't find his golf ball over there. Had to hack it out with a wedge.
Well, Watson moved it about 5 yards yesterday, if that far.
Now Faldo next to play.
It looks like he's got driver. You know, maybe 3-wood.
I think that's the driver.
This magnificent old course here at St. Andrews is owned not by the R&A, as many suspect, but it's owned by the town of St. Andrews, and it is protected by an act of Parliament.
Here, I don't think John can drive the ball down the fairway, Steve. I think he'll run out of it. I think he'll play left here.
Yeah. Way over.
He's playing down the 5th fairway.
Would I be safe to say there aren't many divots from there playing to 14?
I wouldn't think so. And he's hit the ball about halfway between Hell and the Beard. He's over to the left side actually the right side of the 5th, coming down the other way, would be the left side from the way he's playing. Now he's going to have to carry those 2 little bunkers in front of the green there, but they're not really a factor to him. The wind's going to bring him from right to left. It's a wonderful angle to play in from. I've played it down there 100 times, and I made 10s and all kinds of scores from there.
Not many 10s.
No.
All right, let's go out to 17. 2 golf balls side by side. Steve Elkington will be first to play.
Well, we have seen some miserable lies this week in the left-hand rough, but Steve has caught a very good one. The ball is actually sitting up high. The worst problem he has here is if he loses a little control of it and it would fly on him.
What's he using, Judy?
182 yards, Jack, back to the hole, 148, just to the front right portion of the green.
So he's probably playing an 8-iron, probably landing it short and letting it run. Or maybe a little 7. I don't know what... I wouldn't think he'd be playing any more than 7, but probably 8.
Some players from here have actually played left of the green.
I think he just did there, did he?
South foul. That may be too far left. Careful now. Careful. There's a smoke and burn back there.
I have a very hard time understanding that shot.
Well, I think the direction's good, but his distance is horrible.
Well, not really. He's got to be long. I mean, what difference does it make whether you're 10 yards long or 30 yards long? As long as you don't go to the burn, then you can play. And it's not a bad place. He plays right up the green. He doesn't have anything in his way. He doesn't have to worry about the road or the road bunker.
This is probably the only golf course in the world where you play it both forward and backward, what they call the left-hand route. You play from the first tee to the 17th green, and so on around the golf course.
And so that's an approach shot on the backward course. That's exactly what it is.
All right, Judy, what does he go? Short right, short left?
Well, you know, I would think the play is to hit the ball up at the right middle of the green. Just land the ball right at the front of the green.
And that's what
the wind should turn it.
That's where he's aiming.
That's the play I would make, and I think that's the play, but the ball's moving left on him, is it not?
Certainly is.
Well, that's always your danger.
And we'll return with more third-round coverage of the 124th British Open after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
We make a difference. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
Rocca for birdie. That's at 14, so Constantino Rocca now moves to 8 under par. Brett Musburger, we've got quite a horse race down the stretch.
And, Steve, here we are at the 17th, Jack. We've got Nick Faldo from that camera inside the bunker here.
Oh, he didn't have a bad shot at it, and he didn't get it up.
Jack, he was no more than 2 feet from the sod wall. He would have had to hit the ball literally straight up.
Yeah, but he had an uphill lie, Judy. He should have been able to make that shot. That wasn't that hard. I know how deep the bunker is. The bunker is really deep. He just didn't look like he swung very hard at it. He looked like he tried to play a little easier shot. You almost got to lay the blade open real wide. He's got to take a little bit bigger swing at it this time.
Steve Elkington, who is 3 under par for the day, and Jack here is alongside the 17th.
He's putting that ball from about 40 yards away, and they had as much air time as if he had chipped it. It's left it about 15 to 20 feet, Brent, and I think I don't think he was real happy with the play. I think he was just trying to figure out a way to get it up somewhere close and give himself a chance for par, and he didn't get as close as he'd like.
Some of the folks who might not be aware, Michael Campbell, 65, and now John Daly.
216 yards to the front edge for Daly. He's got 234 in all to the flag. The ball is going to come up short, just stop on the front edge.
Well, it's a pretty interesting angle that Daly picked there, and I think it was a pretty good one because he gets to play back into the wind a little help from the right, and use that bank, and I guess he left it just short of the green.
Well, I think at this time it is appropriate that we turn it back over to our anchor as we make our way to the clubhouse.
And you are going to go down and interview these leaders as they come in, Mr. Melnick. I'm sure Steve Elkington will have a smile on his face if things continue. He's at 3 under, and Nick Faldo, Jack Nicklaus with some difficulties at the road hole.
He's got a tough putt for bogey, and he's putting into the wind, and the ball breaks sharply to the right at the end, and it's going to be a tough... Oh, my gosh, it stayed on line.
How's that for a save?
Excuse me. That ball didn't break right.
Jack, when we started the day, 2 shots separated 12 players. Those 12 are a combined 22 over par. Only Constantino Rocca is under par right now in that group. He is 3 under. He has moved to within a shot of the lead. That's how tough conditions were. You made an observation, I think, that's accurate in commercial. I think the weather's changing a bit right now.
I think the wind's dying down a little bit. Plus the fact it always feels like it's dying down when they're coming home, when you got the wind at your back. But it's I think the wind's died down a little bit, and I think the course has gotten a little softer from a wind standpoint. And Steve's going to make 5 also, and you just got to. They're a little bit more used to playing in downwind now. They played this sequence coming home yesterday with the same wind, and the fellows are a little used to it, and so it's they're handling it a little bit better. I mean, you notice all the high scores were going out, not coming home.
He was over that green at 14, then coming back. Unusual for him. He's had putting problems today. You know, Jack, talking about 17, I want to note this. Steve Lowry has birdied the 17th twice this week. There's been only one other birdie at 17 today. That was Peter Sr. There have been a total of 8 so far for the championship.
Well, Steve has played 2 shots that he would like to remember. That's for sure, because I don't think anybody tries to birdie that hole on purpose. I mean, he's made 2 birdies, but I would bet that one of those 2 was a very, very long putt.
Mark, here's John Daly, his 3rd on the par 5.
He's got a putt here of about 40 feet. He's got to go up and over the huge mound right in front of him. This ball is definitely going to pick up speed as it gets over the hill. There it goes.
Rocca now, red hot, his 2nd shot at 15. 3 under for the day, a shot off the lead.
He's also played at left, which is the place where Corey Pavin was. He gets that good angle into the hole. But left it well short.
Well, Steve Elkington has made his way to the 18th tee.
That's a driver, obviously. It's surprising that he's short. I don't know if so many fellows drove it on the screen yesterday. It must just not be, wind must not be getting as much as it was yesterday afternoon.
It is straight downwind at the moment, but I do think it's laid quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now we go for John Daly. Birdie attempt. He's gone about his business here. Level par for the round, and 3 out of the lead.
And I think really thinking right now, if he could get a couple birdies coming into the clubhouse, he's been watching the board, seeing what Rocca's doing. I think he would dearly love to get in that last pair with Michael Campbell tomorrow.
Got a chance now, Mike.
Yeah, I think he could maybe get a couple more birdies. Jack was exactly right about the conditions. The wind has laid down.
Well, you know, Mark, I think that Daly, as you've noticed, he's holed a little putt every hole, and he hasn't missed any of them, and I think it's his game is showing that confidence, the ability to be able to just play along, and I think he's doing a great job of it.
So many great memories, great champions here at the old course at St. Andrews. Who will it be this year? We'll find out tomorrow. Well, certainly this graphic will tell you the story of the day. Fierce weather conditions, especially on the front side, and you can see what has happened to our final groups here today. Only 2 of them under par. Rocca at 3 under was going about his business in a remarkable fashion considering the weather, and there's John Daly. He has now joined it, but look at Brad Faxon, 4 over for the day. Ben Crenshaw, 4 over. Mark Brooks, 3 over. John Cook is 3 over. Ernie Els, 2 over. Payne Stewart was going along, and then suddenly back-to-back double bogeys, and he fell off the leaderboard. Now we go to the 15th tee, Jack and Mark, and here's John Daly.
John chose an iron here off 15, and this ball takes an unbelievable bounce. It's actually going to land in the left center of the fairway. It lands right on a knob, kicks almost 90 degrees to the left, and it's now right on the side of the hill in the fairly deep rough.
Looks like, Jack, like Rocca's eye on a little distance here on this one.
Well, that's what we were saying. He hit it in short, and it checked up on him. I've seen a lot of fellas from that left side try to hold the ball into the wind a little bit and don't get the distance. So the whole key at 16 or 15 to me is to be able to play distance and not worry about direction. Keep it out anywhere left of the hole, but try to have the right distance. And he's left himself with a good 45, 50 feet here, maybe more. And matter of fact, I think it is more because I think the pin's back about 35 or 6 yards or something like that.
There's a fellow who didn't dream of a career in professional golf. We'll leave him for a moment. And Steve Elkington, of course, is coming down the finishing hole. What a chance this gives him.
Beautiful pitch. Beautiful pitch. That'll get him back to 69 for the round.
Now we go back to Rocca.
Nicely judged.
I was saying he didn't dream of a career in professional golf. He was working in a pasta factory in Italy, and some folks suggested his game was pretty good, and the rest, as they say, is history. Here's a young man who can make it back to the European Ryder Cup this year. And Mark, what about John Daly right now?
Well, the ball is lying quite well. It's a pretty good lie, but he's going to have an awkward stance. The ball will be well below his feet. It's not a long shot, just over 160 yards. Probably just a 9-iron for John.
You think he'll take that much club, Mark?
It'd be an awful hard wedge from this stance.
Oh, I think he's got that uphill line. He's got to throw it up in the wind. That's the only problem, is having to throw it up in the air.
This was Nick Faldo on tape now, his second on the 18th. You can see how close Elkington is. That would close him back to within 3 of Michael Campbell's lead. A young pro out of New Zealand, a 65, his career round today. And Tom Watson still very much in the chase. And a reminder that next Saturday on ABC, America's stars of the Senior Tour travel to Northern Ireland. Arnold Palmer and Jim Albus battle an international field of legends at the Senior British Open. And on a special edition of Wide World of Sports, the NFL's 2 new teams kick off the preseason. The Jacksonville Jaguars meet the Carolina Panthers live in the AFC-NFC Hall of Fame game at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, all next Saturday, right here on ABC. Now, Nick Faldo here, Jack, at 18.
Well, he had good pace, but just a little bit, not enough break. And I don't think Nick's very happy with that finish. I don't think there's any question about that.
And Rocca, parring 15, staying stroke out of the lead right now. And Nick Faldo was 3 over for the day. He's level for the championship. And Elkington to within 3 of the lead. Nice round for Steve.
Good solid 69 and just playing along.
So as soon as he checks his card, we'll hear a word with him with our Steve Melnick, who's gone down behind the 18th. Tamari, who was in that final group with Faxon, he's at par through 13, so he's 3 off the lead right now. We have 5 golfers within 3 shots of Campbell's lead. And now on tape, here's Daly at 15.
The wind had died so considerably that playing the ball up into the air was really a pretty good shot, except he hung it way out to the right. And that's going to be a tough spot there.
Rocca on the tee at 16. Here is Faxon, who has struggled today, needs to save par here again. He's 4 over for the round. And Mark Brooks is playing with Rocca, so he's on the tee at 16 also. Finding the fairway, 3 over for the day, like a lot of the fellas, but boy, Rocca has to be happy with the way he's played, Jack.
He's played very well. He's put the ball in good position here, and the type of shot he plays into the green again is his choice. Whether he bounce it in or you try to carry it in, play past the hole, short of the hole. You have so many choices that I think you have to be comfortable with your own choice and how you play.
So we will continue as we come down the final stages of the 3rd round here at St. Andrews. Michael Campbell is the leader. Back at the British Open, John Daly, 2 out of the lead, 3rd shot now.
With a putter from off the 16th tee.
Not much choice, was there, Mark?
No, there wasn't, and judging the speed was next to impossible.
Now Rocca.
Got well all day. We found about the last 12 holes.
Nicely judged, right where Faldo hit it.
Constantino only a shot behind right now. Daly for par. Daly drops the stroke, so he's back to level for the day. Steve Elkington, 3 under for the day. And you can see that he's very much within striking distance, and he has joined Steve Melnick. Steve?
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Steve, you just said something to me a moment ago that really surprises me. As good as your game is, and Jack Nicklaus talked about it at length today, you haven't played well in this championship. Why?
Not sure, Steve. I may have lacked a little experience playing this style of golf, even though I grew up in Australia playing more British style. I had one good week, I think, here. Maybe it didn't even finish up being a good week. Baker Finch won the event, but I finished 35th. But I had a good start to the week. I don't know. I spoke earlier about having my friend Dave Rennick, who's caddying for me. He's a Scotsman, and he's very relaxed. This is near his home, and maybe that's helped me this week more than anything. You know, he's very comfortable here. He's got a lot of friends, and it's helped me.
Does the type of shots you're playing now augur well to the play of this golf course? Difficult coming out, easier, but nevertheless have to control the bounce coming in.
Yeah, I've been hitting fades all week, and it's been tough on me going out. I just aim further left and just try to hit it as hard with my right hand late. Coming in is much easier for me feeling. So in that respect, if the wind stays the same, I feel a little bit more confident on the inward half. However, I played better golf going out. So make sense out of that.
Did Campbell's round maybe send a message to the rest of you there among the leaders that yes, there are some birdies to be made out there?
I think so. I spoke highly of Michael Campbell about 2 or 3 years ago. I played with him in Australia, and I've been waiting for him to surface. I know he's had 3 second places this year in Europe, and the guy is really going to be one of the top players. It didn't surprise me because he's a strong young player. He plays in New Zealand where it's windy, and he can handle it.
All right, Steve, I know you can too. Back up to you, Brent.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And now on videotape for a birdie at 17, Payne Stewart. Payne started the day at 4 under, and after that birdie, 1 under. He had difficulty on back-to-back holes earlier on the back 9, but that'll give him a good feeling as he comes over to the 18th tee. Now Daly at the 16th, Mark.
Well, he's got a driver here, and it's got to be a very questionable decision, I think. You just simply run out of room down there. This ball is well left, and from back here on the tee, we can't tell where it is.
Well, I was wondering after that last hole, Mark, where he made the bogey, how much patience John would have for the rest of the round. And this, he's going to have to get some patience back here to be able to play the rest of this round. If he's over there to the left, he's in that hollow. I don't know whether that's sand or that's just grass down there, but he's going to... this is where we're going to find out what John Daly they can hold together for the finish of the round. I'm sure John Daly was trying to drive the ball very close to the green. I just don't think that's a very good play at 16. You got the wind coming across the right, and you just you can put the ball down to the right, but I don't know what you're going to do with it. I mean, you might have a little shorter bump and run, but I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. I think the whole point is to put the ball in play just there to the left of the principal's nose, and short of Deacon Syme, and then just either run it in or carry it in. But where the pin is today, you try to get out of there with 4. If you make 3, that's fine, but I think you try to get out with 4.
Bay of St. Andrews there in the background. Here you can see almost in the middle of the new clubhouse. The storyline, of course, is Michael Campbell's 65 today. And Corey Pavin. Jack, there's someone that has gone on about his business, although he is 1 over, dropped 1 shot today, but certainly he's got to feel that he's well within striking distance here. Now, the 18th yesterday brought a huge smile to his face. He was able to drive the green when he rode one into that wind.
Well, he's not in bad position. He's in good position. He didn't exactly swing easy at that, did he?
No, he didn't.
I don't know how short you think Pavin is, but he pops the ball pretty good, and he just drove the ball on the green.
That's the second day if it stays. Look out.
It's going to be in the Valley of Sin, but still, that's a wonderful tee shot. And anybody who calls Pavin short, I think better think again. That's a pretty long drive.
Now Rocca for par. So he drops one, and Tamari, the Japanese player who is with Brad Faxon, finds himself tied for second, only 2 out of the lead. Tamari right now is 1 under par through 14, and he has started to slip back up toward the top of the leaderboard. Having started the day deadlocked at 6 under par. John Daly was there, Brad Faxon. Jack, how far back at the end of the third round, given the conditions and given the fact that it's a youngster, an untested one at that, Michael Campbell topped the leaderboard, how far back against this field would you give yourself a chance?
Oh, I think anybody at probably 2 under would have a pretty darn good chance. If you're 7 shots back, the way you look at something like that, you look at an untested player. And Michael Campbell is an untested player. If Michael Campbell plays well and wins the golf tournament, there's nothing you can do about it. But if Michael Campbell stumbles, then you look and see how far are you behind. You're behind Rocca and Tamari, and you look. So really, the lead's sitting right at about 6 or 7, and depending on Campbell. And then so you look at maybe 4 or 5 shots behind that, and the number of players that you have. And I think Tom Watson is very much in the tournament. I think Sam Torrance, Corey Pavin, Els. I think they're all right in the middle of this golf tournament.
Els saving par there at 17, and Jack, giving your number right now, we'd have 21 competitors, and so we could really have a chase tomorrow.
Tom, you've got Nick Price at 2 under. I think Nick Price has still got a very good chance with a good round to win the golf tournament.
Now here's Daly's second mark.
120-yard shots. He wants it to get down. I think he needs to get up.
Where is it, Mark? We didn't see it.
It's just on the front edge of the green, and from the lie, he had not too bad a shot. It's going to be a difficult 2-putt.
Broke on the road hole.
Going into a little hollow on the right, but it's not bad. It's a pretty good angle.
Well, here's a look at Tamari, Jack. We haven't
seen much of him today. I know he's been out there. We just haven't watched him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got himself a little tester right here.
Yeah, that stays okay. That stays okay.
New Zealand, Italy, Japan, the United States, Australia. 5 nations right now top this leaderboard. Doesn't speak a word of English, and that caddy you see right there doesn't speak a word of Japanese, but they're getting along real good.
May have been a blessing in disguise.
Now let's go to Pavin. Like to finish up today on 18 as he did yesterday with a birdie.
Pretty good run out of that valley.
Third shot now for Daly.
30 feet up the hill. Got to come over the mound. It's going to break left as it gets toward the hole. That'll be a pretty good 4 after the tee shot if he can get that one in.
I think that's a big. If he gets that one, that's a big boost for him after making the bogey. It just sort of, he'll forget it now.
Here's Payne Stewart. Left that one far short, didn't it? Disgusted with himself. Now Tamari on the tee at 16.
Up the left side, nice position. About 160 yards away.
go to Rocca's second at 17.
Ball down in a little hollow, but sitting very nicely. 170 yards back to the hole. But the hole back 34 paces in the green.
A little bit of rough makes a very big difference out there, Judy, on these shots. I found it's very difficult to control the ball out of that.
Leave the weight.
Oh, what a nice shot.
Come on. So.
He doesn't know how good a shot that was. He has to play here another 2 or 3 times. Another 2 or 3 times. I guess he has played a few tournaments here, but boy, oh boy, that's a tough shot.
Now we'll watch Pavin and Payne Stewart finish up here on 18. Certainly opportunity here for Corey to wind up level for the day. And very much in the chase. Again, the last man to win the U.S. and the British Open of the same year was Tom Watson back in '82. 3 birdies, 3 bogeys, 4 shots back right now. In the thick of things. He'll sign his card and then go on over and have a word with our Steve Melnick. Stewart for par. Disappointing day for him, the 75.
Back to Tamori again, where we started.
Ernie Els on the tee at 18.
Somehow I don't think that was a driver. Els should be able to drive that green easily unless he was afraid of driving it through the green.
So it is Michael Campbell who sees the lead here in the 3rd round. And we're going to be returning with more 3rd round coverage of the 124th British Open from St. Andrews after this message and word from our ABC station. Well, we are back now, and John Daly on videotape. This the road hole.
Probably a 3 or 4 iron. And he pulled this ball well left, some of the worst rough on the golf course. And his ball has found it.
That's about the spot mark where Vijay Singh was yesterday, and it's a good thing that there are spotters out there. Would have had a tough time finding that golf ball. You can get real deep over there. Now Rocca, this for birdie at 17. Now there are Barbara and George Bush, former president of the United States, an avid golfer. Both he and Barbara were out, played around earlier today at Michael Benalik's club close by. He, of course, heads up this Grand Championship for the R&A, and you can see what a great view they have up there from the balcony. And now let's go to John Daly.
Only John Daly would have tried that shot. I'm not sure most players would have even thought about advancing it. He didn't. I believe it's in the front bunker, not the road bunker, but the one well short of the green.
Jack, have you seen many players in the Scholars through the years? I don't believe I have.
Not only haven't seen it, but I've never heard of it. But I don't, as I think that's right. Try to take a shot out of the rough from there into that direction is very difficult. But, you know, there are all kinds of bunkers all over this golf course that you don't know about, and all of a sudden you find them when you're trying to take a chance. Patience.
Very quietly, Ben Crenshaw now has started to work himself back into contention. Made a great birdie from about 6 feet at 15 and then knocked it 3 feet from the hole at 16. He's 3 under for the championship. He may well get back to even with John Daly by the time they get to the 18th. Crenshaw with a perfect angle from the right-hand side of the fairway. Still an extremely difficult shot.
Only played about 5 or 6 opens here, and I haven't figured out how to play that shot yet.
This one is low and headed toward the road bunker.
And he found it.
I think the shot is to hit it low, like Ben tried to hit it, land it short, and try to run it up in the front part of the green. And if it happens to go to the back, fine. But you try not to get it into that road bunker. Obviously, I mean it's kind of an obvious remark, but I mean it's you almost can't avoid it. Sometimes the ball just swings left, but you got to get enough to get up, but not enough to reach that bunker. So you leave yourself 30 or 40 foot putt short, and that's probably the proper place to play.
There's how the hole has played today, and of the 101 players who have come through already, 4 birdies. We saw Payne Stewart's a short time ago. That would be the last one. The most remarkable shot we have seen, though, and the shot of the day, is Michael Campbell, our leader from out of that bunker. And certainly I hope here, before we get off the air, we get a chance to show you that piece of videotape if you haven't seen it. That is an unbelievable golf shot. Here on the 18th is Ernie Els. Daly.
Should have laid out on his second, instead now has to on his third. So he's playing a par 5 at best. It would be a good score.
So it was Michael Campbell of New Zealand earlier today with a 65 who stormed to the top of the leaderboard, and there he sits. The problems of John Daly on the road hole. This is 4th shot. Rocca on the tee at 18. 2 under for the day, 2 back of Campbell. Well, one who will be given an excellent chance tomorrow of running down the leaders will be the United States Open champion, Corey Pavin. And he has joined Steve Melnick now. Steve?
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Another typical gritty performance by our Open champion. I noticed when you walked off 18 after you making birdie, you immediately looked up at the scoreboard.
Well, I looked at it before, but I just wanted to make sure what I saw, and I just wanted to see what kind of position I was in. And it's a good position. I'd like to have a couple more birdies up there, but it was a tough day today. I played hard and didn't quite have my A game out there, and just kept it together and kept at it, and was able to birdie the last hole, which I was very pleased with.
Well, turn the clock back about a month. You're going into the final round of the British Open. Where do you stand versus where you were going in the final round at Shinnecock?
Not too far off, I guess. I think I was 3 back and had 4 people in front of me there. And we had a windy day, which is probably will be tomorrow as well. So I like my position. I certainly rather be a little bit more under, but it's a good position, and I can go out and play a little bit more aggressively tomorrow, and maybe a couple putts will fall, and I'll have a good chance tomorrow.
All right, Corey, we know we'll expect a good round from you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, Brent.
An intelligent player, and intelligence cannot be overrated on this golf course. Working your way around and knowing what you're doing and There's a fella telling you that he did not have his great game. But we want to show you the shot of the day. This is Michael Campbell. Jack, you just take it from this bunker here with this young man.
Well, he's just trying to play the ball out sideways, Brent. And the ball hits the bank of the bunker and pops up in the air and goes to the right. I mean, it's a total fluke. But he was trying to figure out a way to make 5, and he ended up making 4. And I think he's, in the position he was in, that was, it was a very, very lucky break, and boy, you need it. It's a pretty good hole to get it on.
And with his 65, and now John Daly needing this for a bogey. So he doubles the road hole.
Just sort of seemed to lose a little track of what he was doing the last 3 holes, I think. Had really been in good position, and then real sloppy on 15 through 17.
Falls back into a tie for 7th. Now Ben left 1 in the bunker, and so this is for a double bogey for Crenshaw also. Now Tamari's on the tee at 17.
That ball's going a little left. Look out, rough.
Yeah, he's over in it, Rossi. We can see the ball from the camera. I don't know if he's buried as much as John was, but Rocca, and this is his 2nd on the finishing 18th. Now Brad Faxon.
Hit a beautiful drive up the right-hand side, Brent. Has 185 yards into the hole.
Those things are crossing.
Been some ride for Brad today with the 5 bogeys and a double bogey, and he's also had 3 birdies. So he has gone completely over the green there at 17. They're in the final group. And we will count down the 3rd round of the British Open here shortly.
It had been 7 long years since Greg Norman captured the British Open title. In 1993, he threatened again. With a round to go, Nick Faldo, the defending champion, led by 1. But Norman rallied to the occasion. He torched the course, punctuated by this spectacular approach to 9. The Open Championship was Norman's again. Another British Open golden moment.
16.
We saw him make a putt at 15.
Well, we are back, and as Jack Nicklaus was alluding to, we were told that there has been a change in the official scoring, that Tamari bogeying 16. So he is indeed 3 shots back of Michael Campbell's 9-under lead right now. Rocca, who is finishing up, is 2 back of Campbell. Then we have Elkington deadlocked with Tamari, Els, and Pavin. We just heard from Corey. John Daly with difficulties on the road hole, and now here's Rocca at 18. Good solid round, solid championship so far. And Brooks also there. This is for 3. So a positive finish for Brooks as he birdies both 17 and 18 to wind up with a 73. And also in the thick of things at 4 under. And I think, as Jack has told you, the very fact that it is an unknown youngster at the top of that leaderboard gives those fellows down below maybe a little more shot of confidence. Remember, coming in, everybody touted Greg Norman, then they switched a little bit to Nick Faldo. There was talk of Ernie Els, and let's not forget Els. He's at 5 under and 4 back of that lead tomorrow. So the final round here at St. Andrews really figures to be a great horse race tomorrow. And it looks, Jack, like Sherry, the young amateur whom you played with, 2 over for the day in the win, but still leaves him at 1 under par for the championship great. And this is Tamari's. This is his 3rd at 17.
Very interesting to see the caddy almost get down on the ground and point a path where he wanted Tamari to putt that ball.
That's the exact putt I had this morning, Rossi, and you just have absolutely no chance whatsoever. He made the smart play, I think, and just plays for 5. And if he happens to make a putt, then he's, obviously gets his 4.
Even if he makes 5, Jack.
Not a bad score.
Now Crenshaw, coming off that disappointing double bogey just as he was starting to make a move up the leaderboard.
And it's not very often when you can see a player in a major championship make a double bogey on a downwind par 4 and keep the honor on the tee. Ben Crenshaw did that. Shows you just how tough the road hole is.
I wonder if you think Daly will try to drive this or not. What do you think?
This ball might go over the R&A clubhouse.
Scrambling there alongside the first tee, up the bank, and back down.
That was perilously close to out of bounds. That was about 2 feet from being out of bounds, so. You're going to do a slow-mo of John here. Well, I've got a feeling, I don't really think he's needed to hit it all that hard. I think he would have really preferred to hit a little bit of a cut, and he didn't. He set up for a left to right tee shot. He's got a little bit too far inside if he's going to try to hit it left to right, though. Daly, the nice thing about his is the head remains nice and steady, right? In one position. Doesn't raise up, doesn't go down. Now he drops a little bit on the start of the downswing to create the leverage. He's pulled his head out of it a little bit, so that's where the left to right's or right to left's coming in. I'm sure he tried to hit that left to right to try to work it into the green.
At 17, Tamari, this for par. As Tamari finishes up, and we check our clock, and we'll do a little bookkeeping for you. You know that Shell's Wonderful World of Golf is coming up, and it's a delightful match between Greg Norman and Nick Price, which was taped down in southern Florida, down at Greg's new course, I believe, outside of Jupiter at the Medalist. Now, that's coming up just as soon as we want to finish up with what John Daly does here. He has been very much in contention, but he's suddenly having some problems as the wild thing versus the old course. And late in the day, the old course has kind of risen up and bitten Long John here. And we'll take him to conclusion, and then you'll be going to Shell's wonderful world of golf. I know, Jack, you've had a chance to play. Was it Arnold that you played with on the Pinehurst #2 and when that show came
Arnold
out?
and I played, I think, the first match back at Pinehurst, and had a nice day, and we both played reasonably well, and I think it was fun to see the Shell matches come back, Brad. I think it was good for golf many, many years ago, and we go to places that we really don't see on a regular basis, which is kind of nice.
You know, that was a great moment with Arnold here. I know you were busy playing, but when he walked down here and came over the bridge for the last time in a British Open, and the photographers asked him to come back one more time and wave to the crowd, it was a very touching moment for all of us watching.
Well, I think Arnold enjoyed coming over here this time. I don't think he really expected to play, the golf that he wanted. I think he was too wrapped up in the emotion to play golf, and I think he's been a great contributor and brought the Americans back over here to play in the British Open back in the early '60s, and we all owe him a lot. And I think that all the people here enjoyed seeing him come for the last time.
Well, let's take one more look here at the tee shot. This is the widest fairway in golf. If you're either on the first tee or the 18th, doesn't matter.
I don't understand how somebody can let loose at the golf club, fall off balance, and still drive at 380 or 90 yards. Unbelievable.
Ben Crenshaw.
Hit a very short tee shot here at 18, but fortunately the hole location in the back, so he really doesn't have to worry too much about the Valley of Sin.
His ball checked up very quickly. It was hit into a face and stopped.
I would think he would try and throw this one up and over the Valley.
Oh, he's got plenty of green there to do what he wants to, yeah. No, he's playing a run shot. I think that was probably a lot easier for us to be playing pitch shots under those circumstances than the run shot. We're so much more used to doing the other kind of shot. I would thought Ben would have played it.
John Daly now, I think, has a real important shot here. We've seen him make a mess of the last 3 holes. If he could get up and down, make a 3, going at 5 under, he'd feel a whole lot better, I'm sure.
I'm sure he's just putting it, isn't he, Mark?
Yep.
As we watch Daly go up, we mentioned Arnold and his final walk-up here on the 18th hole on Friday. A chance one more time to go back and watch it. Here's, like Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer has meant so very, very much to the game of golf. We are back, Ben Crenshaw. This is for birdie at 18. Here's a gentleman who certainly enjoys the history of golf, loves coming to St. Andrews, and at the British Open won the Masters. What a wonderful moment that was this year. Very popular figure. I'm sure he would like to have played better today, but it was tough going. And now John Daly, as Mark Rolfing told you, would love to end this with a 3. I saw him get a 3, Mark, I think it was in the first round when after he hit his tee shot underneath the grandstand over here on the left side, alongside the first fairway, and was given a drop, and he was able to get it up and down then. And let's see if he can do it from where he was now this afternoon. A little razor back there on his ball. And he has done it. Positive note. 211 and 4 off the lead. Michael Campbell, a 65. Tomorrow's final round should be something for Steve Melnick, Jack Nicklaus, Jack Whitaker, Judy Rankin, Bob Rosberg, Mark Rolfing, Frank Hannigan. I'm Brent Musburger. So long.